This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 FM and iTalk1067.com. Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Beeler Orthodontics, Octopus Car Wash, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Comfort Fit Dentures, Summit Regional Medical Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport, and Horn Auto Center. And now, Sholo Ford presents high school football on iTalk 106.7 FM and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino. Since 2006, Beeler Orthodontics has been creating spectacular smiles in the White Mountains. Dr. Beeler and his team use innovative technology and cutting-edge orthodontics while still providing a hometown experience. From traditional braces and clear aligners to surgical orthodontics, Dr. Beeler works with smiles of all ages. So call them today to schedule a complimentary exam at 928-537-7775 or visit them at BeelerOrtho.com. Beeler Orthodontics. Live to smile, love your smile.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Hey everyone, it's Joe G from Horn Auto Center and the Deuce of Clubs in Sholo. People are saying to me, hey Joe, what's going on with these used car prices? Well, we have to use live market value when we take people's vehicles in on trade. We're giving top dollar right here at Horn Auto Center, using live market value, what vehicles are selling for in the last 90 days. Horn Auto Center, the Chevy and GMC store that saves you more.
Winning takes focus, preparation, and support. Keep focused on your dream career while saving thousands in tuition costs at Northland Pioneer College. We're here to support your goals and see you succeed. Visit npc.edu to see our programs. An academic advisor will get you on the right path to achieve your educational goals. Northland Pioneer College, expanding minds, transforming lives.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable, always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
Very good evening, and thank you for joining us for some semifinal action as the Snowflake Lobos, number 2 in the 4A conference, are taking on Canyon del Oro as They check in at number 6, as I'm Derek Palmer alongside Aaron Hewish. A little bit of a surprise, perhaps, that they're facing CDO as the number 6 team. Spent most of the year ranked number 2 in the power points, but suffered a big loss to a pretty bad team in Micah Mountain, and then plummeted all the way down here, which enabled the Lobos to host this semifinal matchup. Winner is going to head on down to Sun Devil Stadium next Saturday. But this is a Lobo team that kind of reshaped its identity about halfway through the season, and went in and started really relying on the defense after it made a big change at quarterback. The biggest question right now is, how's Easton Butler doing? How was he able to go last week?
He was able to go last week. He looked pretty good. He was taking some few snaps at quarterback, and the Lobos looking pretty good. Derek, if you look at the first, I think it's first 7 games that they played and how many points they allowed in the last 5 and how many points they allowed, it's a huge differential. The defense has just absolutely come through. Some of those changes that the Lobos made after that Apache Junction game obviously made a huge impact on what they're doing. And, no offense to the offense tonight, but if the Lobos are going to go to that game at Sun Devil Stadium, it's going to be with their defense.
Both teams have their captains right now meeting at the 50-yard line as we take a look at the State Farm keys to the game. If you need, it's the Ace Hardware keys to the game every week. Ace Hardware keys to the game. If you need a key made any day or night, any night of the week, go to one of 3 mountain locations. Ace Hardware. What's the big key for the Lobos, especially emphasizing that defensive side? The
defense, but Derek, they got to have sustained drives. They got to take and do that run game. Sometimes, and I'm not being critical, I'm just saying, sometimes I think offensive coordinators like to get a little bit cutesy. Oh, it's second and short, we're going to throw it down the field. I think the Lobos, if they just take and use this running game and meticulously and methodically move the ball down the field and put it in the end zone, it doesn't matter if you win 21-20, 13-13, whatever it is, a win's a win. And I think the key is the Lobos using that ground game to power over these Dorados.
Totally missed the toss there. As we take a look at the Dorados, got an awful lot of playmakers who are going to have an opportunity to try and exploit, but you concentrate on the ground where getting most of the action is Jordan Thomas, who's rushing for 57 yards a game, Jose Alba, who's rushing for 70 yards a game, and Caden Luke, who's rushing for 82.
Derek, the Lobos have only allowed 3 points in these playoffs thus far, so it's huge. But if you notice, their running backs don't have stellar over-the-top numbers per game, as the Lobos are going to get set to receive here. So CDO is going to spread it around, and we'll see how the Lobo defense responds. Big Matthew Brimhall in the middle, doing extremely well. And if Matthew makes the plays and the tackles tonight, the Lobos are going to come out victorious.
Lobos sending Jet McCray back. The CDO wearing green hats, white tops, green pants, ready to kick it off, going right to left. Snowflake's wearing white hats and all blue, as this one is short and angled away from McCray, taking over it outside of the far hash and then coming to the near side where he's still on his feet over the 20 and down to the 30.
I believe that
J.J. Lerma is going to get that.
J.J. Lerma, and that was number 28 for the Dorados. That's Sam Pichota there to make the stop, and we'll get our first glimpse of the Lobo offense as they come out here to see what they can do this evening. Derek, something I want to point out before we get going too far is I have us at 50 degrees and winds 12 to 20 south to north. And the last few games we've done have been significantly colder than that. So the Dorados team isn't going to play in the cold that they thought they might.
Brennan Bryant out in the shotgun formation. He has McCray standing on his right, and now some movement with, I think, all 3 receivers that were split wide here to the near side. The Snowflake team that is coming off of back-to-back state championships at the 3A conference. So you would not think that there'd necessarily be an awful lot of jitters, but this is a big game, and you're playing a team that's got quite a bit of history behind it with CDO, which has made the trip up here.
CDO didn't come up here to lose this game, Derek. They're going to play and give everything they have.
Snap is faked, and now bringing it down to try to set up a wide receiver screen, and that nearly was a pick 6. The Lobos had a ball game begin like that a little bit earlier in the season, and that one would have put them really far behind the chains. Instead, it's going to be no score, but 2nd and 15 after the first incompletion from Bryant.
Derek, I don't want to understate this, but sometimes you need to stick with what got you. Although football is it's a chess game of trying to keep your opponent guessing. But I wasn't expecting that on first down.
Split backs now on either side of Bryant. Give comes from the left to the right, where the ball carrier is stood up by the teeth of that CDO defense.
I believe that was Jet McCray carrying the ball there.
And he gained a yard.
That's going to be a big third down coming for the Lobos here, where they're going to have to put it in the air. And the breakdown, I think the Lobos are about 75-25 at this point with runs to passes. So
McCray standing on Bryant's right. Got 3 receivers going out to the left. Single man on the near side. Looking in this direction and said swing it out to McCray. He's got to make somebody miss almost immediately. Forced out of bounds, though, near the 35, as there on the stop was VJ King. Sent it all the way out to the 36, which is good for a gain of 8, but is going to make it 4th down and about 6.
That's going to drop the crew into a punt formation. And Derek, last week the Lobos did successfully run a fake punt against the Badgers of Prescott, and so never overlook that this early in the game.
2 men back for CDO as the Dorados look as if they've accomplished a 3-and-out. Kick is going to hang up high. Fair catch being signaled, and takes a bounce straight up at the 36, and then a Lobo bounce down to the 31. So the teams are going to start with nearly identical field positions. Snowflake kind of shot itself in the foot and was forced to start on 1st and 15. Here comes the CDO offense, where the Dorados are led by Tristan McClellan, who throws 62% with 115 yards a game, 17-9 touchdown to interception ratio. But again, this seems as if it's an offense that really wants to try to control on the ground, as a pretty big front starts trotting in.
Derek, too, this Lobo defense is playing with a little bit of a heavy heart tonight, and we're going to see how they respond to that coming up.
Jordan Thomas is going to work from the pistol as McClellan settles into the shotgun. 2 receivers going out wide to the open side with an H-back just off the line. Handoff goes to Thomas as he bounces off of a couple of men. Able to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage and then get a narrow gain of just a half yard, but Wire Hart's heavy.
That was number 66, Bryce White, coming in there and making that initial contact. And Derek, I believe it's going to be these defensive ends that are going to be key to how this Lobo defense plays. The ends creating those opportunities for the linebackers to come in and clean house the guys with their hands in the dirt and see what they can do.
All right, but you said everybody's hearts are heavy. You got to tell us why.
Well, we'll wait till after this play.
All right. As everybody bunched up near the line of scrimmage, it looks like CDO has a little bit of confusion about what's coming off the sideline, as McClellan now has a running back off his right and a little bit in front of him. Instead, going to put a man in motion as the give goes to Estacio, who tries to go to the left or the right and gets over the 35, gains 3, but it'll be 3rd and long.
About 4 Lobos in on the stop. This defense, Derek, they're kind of without their leader on the coaching staff. Coach Art Hargrove was hospitalized yesterday with some health issues, and shout out to him if he's listening, and hope he gets better. But suffice to say that they've had to do some adjusting, and these players are without one of their big leaders. Coach Hargrove's been on the staff about 20 years as a special teams coordinator, as a linebackers coach, and the last 10 or a little bit longer as the linebackers or the defensive coordinator. So Lobos without their leader, but I'm sure that going to perform very well.
3rd and 6. Put men in motion at the start. Now 2 tight ends on the line as McClellan takes the shotgun snap, turns and gives, as this is Estacio, who is trying to find some move coming to the left side of the line, but he is dropped after just a 1-yard gain.
Lobo faithful wanted a little flag on some extracurricular going on out there, but these games get a little chippy, and that's just the way it is. And I'm sure CDO, when they saw that bracket and thought they might have to come up here in early December, was a little bit of chip on their shoulder. So not much you can say about that, but the Lobos seemingly look like they've forced a 3-and-out as well.
Well, the offense is on the field here for the Dorados, as they don't look like the Lobos are really expecting a punt. Under center, and now jumping nearly into the neutral zone, but remaining on the right side, the left side of Snowflake's line. Continuing now to look toward the sideline as McClellan's under center.
The back judge has begun his 5 count.
It looks like they are content to
looks like they are going to take a delay a game and punt it. There comes the flag, and the Lobos force actually, I think that was the Dorados, Derek, taking that to get, and that's a strategy we see a lot in the next couple levels of football. So,
well, yeah, you usually see that when you're on your own 35, though.
well, I was going to bring that up, but I think that means that they may have a lot of faith in this kicker to get some bounces.
Are playing with quite a bit of elevation.
Christensen and Butler back for the Lobos on this.
Can't see who is going to do the kicking as a pretty high snap is brought down. And it's away, angling toward Christensen, who asked for a fair catch and is able to gather that one in at the Lobo 29. So
Derek, I believe that was either number 4 or number 2.
Now we'll get it.
We'll get it eventually.
Back come the Lobos as they were only able to gain 9 yards. First and 15, started the ball game with a procedural penalty. And again, starting roughly in the same neighborhood as Snowflake did on its first possession and as CDO did on its only possession. Receivers coming out wide. Claire operating as an H-back as they're split backs on either side of Bryant. Fake the handoff, now trying to come to this near side where Butler's got to extend to get the grab near the 35, gain of 5.
That was number 20 on the defense. That's Jordan Thomas for the Dorados, the senior, coming in and just giving Butler that outside edge, and Bryant put that ball about as good as it could and made the catch.
Clock tipping under 8 minutes to go. There's no score here in the first quarter. Same formation. Man on the near side here on the closed end is Butler is instead Bryant from the shotgun. Hands off to Lerma, who tries to come from the left to the right and is met at the line of scrimmage. Gains maybe 2 to set up third and sort of short.
Interesting call there to run to the short side of the field. It gave the Lobos some positive yards and set them up in a very favorable third down situation as the clock is almost halfway through this first quarter.
Both sides are looking for their comfort venture first down for the first time, as it's the same formation, though switching sides with Butler, who's gone to the left side, and go to McCray, who's going to run from the right to the left, and he's able to force his way over the 40 down to the 42.
They have him marked at a first down, Derek, and he drug about – looks like they drug him – he drug about 3 defenders on him.
Gains 5 when he only needed 3 and winds up pushing it out to the 42 for that comfort fit denture first down. Again, the first time that either side have been able to move the chains comes with just under 7 minutes to go. No score, but Snowflake now with a little bit of momentum as they continue to operate with the same formation. Man on the near side here is Papa. Instead, going to hand it off. Lerma's in the second levels. He gets down to the 50 and puts his shoulder into another defender where he stopped at midfield for a gain of 8.
Derek, it looks to me like that's the formation we saw about 80% of the time last week, and those quick gives and moving forward and pushing the ball.
They're actually going to push this over into Dorado territory.
Barely.
Snowflake not necessarily exclusively going with the run, but really using the run to emphasize and open up any opportunities for anybody else. Now the near man is Slade Fish as they fake the handoff. Bryant looking down to the far side where Claire's got it at the 45, tackled at the 40 down to the 39. Another comfort fit denture first down. And a little bit of a smaller crowd than one might expect here for a semifinal matchup, but they've risen up as they've watched the Lobos push it into CDO territory.
Derek, it looked like we got a gain of 11 on that play. Is that what you have it for?
Yeah.
By Claire? That was a nice way he stuck his hands out and snagged the ball out of the air.
First and 10 now on the 39. Hard count there for Bryant as he gets the shotgun snap. Comes to Lerma, who's bounced to the right side. Is able to get forward progress down for a 1-yard gain, but going to set up second and long.
Positive yards still, positive yards, and I think that's what you're looking at this point is positive yards for Lerma and the Lobos.
Actually give him a generous spot, a gain of 2. 5:34 to go here in the initial. Snowflake took the opening kick and was forced into a 3-and-out, but then forced a 3-and-out. Since then, moved it into CDO territory where it's marked at the 37 for this 2nd and 8. Single back set is going to pitch it out a little bit behind McCray, beg your pardon, as he is tripped up and might have been because of the awkward exchange.
That looks like Jordan Thomas in for CDO again to make that stop. It did get positive yards, but it brings up, what do you call that, 6?
Yeah.
7?
They're calling it 3rd and 6. And perhaps a passing situation. Keep an eye on McClare, who's going to come out off on the right side, down in a tight end spot. Split backs, and what's going on? CDO's sideline is animated, and I'm not sure exactly at whom, but the coach is hot. as he calls timeout for the first time to stop play with 4:48 to go. No score in the first quarter. Snowflake facing 3rd and 6 after this. Cholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
4:48 to go in the first quarter. There's no score, but Snowflake is the first team to demonstrate the ability to put a drive together. Right now, I think the Lobo running backs are a little bit taken aback by how quick the CDO linebackers are. Been getting stopped after they get a little bit of space once they get past the defensive line. Is now facing potential, well, they're going to fake the option and go over to the top where Butler was going to have a dime drop. There were 2 defenders in the neighborhood, and it falls incomplete to set up 4th and 6.
Is this a go-for-it situation, Derek?
Well, they're kind of in no man's land, and this would essentially turn it over right around where CDO had started its previous possession. But it looks like they're going to play the defensive game.
I agree. Couple things you said about that is I'm not sure. I think I would have gone for 3 yards and been settled for another 3 yards, but the CDO linebackers have been all over these runs.
Butler is operating as one of the up men. Now the backup quarterback, they're going to let this one get past, and it's kicked away by Braden Lewis, and a good kick that'll bounce at the 15 and roll inside the 10 before it falls dead at the 5.
We get our second chance to see this Lobo defense come out to this quarter, and Derek, when you have 2 running teams like this, actually the Lobos have thrown more than I thought they would. Not critical. I'm just saying it's stating a fact, but it's interesting to see how this defense is going to respond, because 2 teams that put the ball on the ground like this, it makes for a very fast game, as opposed to the Sholo Paradise Honors game we did a few weeks ago.
Yes, that was a longin'. As here come the Dorados, right now being led by Estacios, 4 yards, only gained 5 on previous carry or possession. 4:33 to go. There's no score, and pinned right outside the goal line. Fake the handoff. Now throwing this one over into the flat where it's going to be grabbed by low toss, but a nifty haul there from VJ King as he is able to move the chains on a passing play good for 10 yards and a Comfort Fit Denture first down.
That's the most yards that CDO's gained with that nice little pass. I think the Lobo defense bit on that run, and they were able to put it over the top, kind of what the Lobos have been trying to do. They've been successful at a couple times, but we'll see here.
So 1st and 10, no score, first quarter. CDO with an extra tight end again on the line as the handoff is trying to bounce it to the right side, but getting stopped just after moving beyond the line of scrimmage. I think that was Thomas. Braden Lewis there credited with the tackle. Was able to meet him one-on-one and bring him down.
Braden Lewis operating from that outside linebacker position, but more importantly here, Derek, is we have a 2nd and 9. But both teams seemingly getting those positive yards every play, just not getting what they would like to.
No, you're curious, but Utah just fumbled it away deep in its own territory. You hate to see that. You just hate it.
It depends on who you're going for, Derek. It depends on who you're going for.
Hate to see it. 2nd down and 9. Throwing this one out to the right side with a little bit of blocking help. Wide receiver screen's going to be good for a gain of 8 as that pass was completed on the far sideline to Dalen Beck. Gains 8 to make it 3rd and 1.
Do we have a score update on that game?
17-3.
Derek, how did Lincoln Riley turn USC around in 1 year?
Magic.
Transfers? Magic?
3rd down and 1 as Beck again split wide to the right. The other 10 players right into the line of scrimmage as Estacio comes in motion. Instead, it's going to be kept. As that might have been a direct snap to Thomas, but he's going to go run over the right side and have enough for a Comfort Fit Denture first down.
Derek, at this rate, this quarter is going to be over, and Dorados are going to barely be over the 50, but they're getting positive yards, positive every time they get the ball.
Well, they started this drive on their 5 and have moved it out to the 33 while moving the chains twice. So they're doing something right.
How many plays do you have them down for on this drive?
This is play number 4.
Oh, so it hasn't. They've been just pretty methodical then.
Two men split wide left include Beck and Casillo. McClellan back operating as the quarterback as he's working from the shotgun. Moves King to his right. 1st and 10 here with Snowflake showing Brits now backing off. Going to hand it off to King. Tries to come to the near side, and he is again going to be met. The Dorado running game right now is yielding almost nothing.
Yeah, but that short pass sure got them where they needed, and that direct snap sure helped. So to me, it's not the trickery. It's the execution of these off plays. I don't even know what you want to call them. Plays that are, designed to throw the defense off a little have been the ones that have gotten and yielded the positive yards.
Estacio and King come off the field for CDO. 1 minute and 45 seconds left. There's no score, but after Snowflake was able to put together a bit of a drive, Dorados doing difference being they had to start from their own 5. Now here's a 4-receiver set, 2 on either side of the line. Ball's lined up directly in the middle of the field. Handoff is going to be given instead and met in the backfield and stopped for a very narrow gain. I think that was Thomas.
Derek, I think that was Munoz, and I can't even see how many. Munoz, I think Brimhall might have been in there, but the middle of that line, number 54 for the Lobos, that is LeDuc. Al just kind of collapsed on that. We couldn't even tell up here from our vantage point who made that initial tackle. Great job by the middle of that Lobo defense.
That was actually Jose Alba who was there on that carry. So 3rd down and 8. Passing situation around this drive. McClellan is 2 for 2 for 18 yards. Shotgun and pistol formation as they turn and fake the handoff. Now moving the pocket to the left, throwing this one underneath where it's going to be caught at the 39 and stopped at the 41. Is that where they're going to measure that one? That is a very generous spot.
I actually thought it was a pretty good spot by that official down there. I was watching the far side and then watching it. They are spotting it back a little bit, Derek. They are spotting it back, looking at about the 42. So that's going to bring up an interesting call on I don't see any reason the Dorados aren't going to go for this, but do they let the quarter slide is the thing.
I believe that was Casillo on that catch.
We don't have the vantage point of a play clock, but the clock's ticking down 15-14, so I don't believe the Dorados have to they could take an automatic timeout from the clock and not have to run this.
They're at the line with 5 seconds, and it doesn't look as if there's any interest in going under center. As the buzzer's going to sound to end the first quarter of play, a defensive showcase here in the semifinals. Winner gets to go to Sun Devil Stadium a week from tomorrow, but there's no score yet here at Snowflake High School on Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you. Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Snowflake is sending its defense back onto the field, expecting CDO to go for it. 4th and 1 from its own 42. No score here to start the second quarter. Coming out wide to the near side is Beck. He's the leading receiver, but this one has all the makings of an effort to try to get this one by running up the middle. They're going to go again with the direct snap to Thomas, who's going to run all the way into Snowflake territory. Needed 1 yard and winds up running for 23, and it's Comfort Fit Denture first down.
Braden Frost saving that tackle for the Lobos, bringing him down at about the, what are we going to call that, about the 37-yard line. And Braden Frost saved a touchdown. And, that was last week when the Lobos played, they had a couple drives where they had a 4th and short and things like that, and they were able to create those type of opportunities and just kind of break the backs. And if you're the Lobo defense, you feel like you got your back a little bit broken on that play.
11:35 to go in the half. There's no score, but into Snowflake territory for the first time goes CDO. Exchanging a couple of players behind the line, especially King, as he sets up as an H-back off to the left. Single back in the pistol. Turn and give, trying to run to the near side, but runs into his own blocker, and that allows 3 Lobos to get the stop at the line of scrimmage. Estacio on the carry for no gain.
Derek, let me ask you a question here. Is your thought process here as you've been moving these positive yards on a Lobo defense that's done very well through the last part of the season and the postseason, as a coach and a play caller, a head coach and his play caller, maybe one and the same, are you thinking you're in 4-down territory right here and calling your plays based off 4 downs?
I'd have to see if they're able to get any positive yardage on these next 2, because CDO's defense has played pretty well in the first quarter as well. As Estacio is out in the pistol, 2 receivers going out wide left from the shotgun. McClellan fakes the handoff, looking to his left, now going over the top of the defense where he overshoots his man. It falls incomplete, intended for Beck.
Well, that kind of shot my theory right there. I thought that they were going to stick and keep with what had worked. But again, it's not necessarily about fooling your opponent. It's about deception. And I thought that was a great play call right there. And my thought would have been is use and try to get some positive yards and keep yourself in 4-down territory. But
so it's going to be 3rd and 10. No score on the 37-yard line of the Lobos. Beck again going out wide left where he's going to be in single coverage, matched up with Braden Frost. No safety help over there either. So this might be what you were talking about, where they're just trying to get half of these. As now Estacio comes in motion, they fake the handoff. It's again going to be Thomas, who's going to be stopped in the backfield, but circles back to the near side and is able to pick up a first down before getting forced out of bounds at the 25.
And more importantly, Derek, that moved the chains, but he was seemingly stopped in the background by the Lobo defense, the Lobo line, and he bounced that ball, and there was no one there on that backside. I'm not saying somebody didn't follow their responsibility, but they weren't able to do that, to make that tackle.
.10:28 with the clock stopped after Thomas picks up the first down. 1st and 10 from the 23, and no score in the second quarter. 2 receivers again going out wide left. Single man in the backfield is Estacio, as he's going to be working from the pistol as McClellan is standing and looking at his sideline. This is no huddle offense, so to speak, but now they change it up as Estacio moves to McClellan's left. Takes the snap, it's a little bit low, trying to swing this one out. Estacio's got it and turns it up at the 20 before he is spilled for a gain of 2.
I think that was Christensen for the Lobos, the 5'9", 185-pound senior coming in and making that stop and cutting him a little bit short. It wasn't?
10 minutes now to play in the half. As I don't know if that was Christensen or not. We're having a technical conversation.
I thought you were looking at me telling me, no, that wasn't Christian. I was like, oh, I can't. I'm more blind than I thought I was from this vantage point.
2nd down and 8. 2 receivers now to the near side as Estacio comes in motion. He gets the handoff, cuts it up over the right of the line, and is able to fall forward for a gain of 2 to make it 3rd down and 5-ish.
Derek, these are where the Lobos have had problems this game thus far, is these third and I would call them mid-range calls that have really hurt the Lobos. That 4th down was a big one, but they've had a couple of these 3rd downs where they haven't been able to finish.
This very well may wind up being 2-down territory, as CDO's kick to start the ball game was very, very short. Right now looking at a 35-yarder. As Thomas is going to be operating as the quarterback again. Estacio's in the backfield, and Thomas going to keep. Moves to the left, looks for some room to cut it up, and is able to gain 2, make it 4th and short.
Derek, there's no way I would even be able to venture a guess on who came in and made that stop for the Lobos. Although it is 4th down now, this is, again, these 3rd and 4th downs of where the Snowflake defense has struguged.
That was the time I had the terrible spot. Is they actually going to mark that one about a yard, maybe more back, make it 4th and 3. And it's again no sign of a kicking game. And see who's going to operate as the quarterback, as Thomas has been getting an awful lot of work, getting direct snaps, and it looks like he's going to line up. Think that is King off to his right. Got a single man split wide left as he gives it a hard count, trying to get Snowflake off sides. And a timeout will be taken by CDO. 8:16 to go in the second quarter. No score, but the Dorados are threatening on Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
4th and 3. Canyon del Oro had started this drive on its... Was this the drive that started on the 5? No, that was the last one.
No, the drive started...
this one was...
Wait. It was the 5, wasn't it, Derek?
It was.
This
drive's been going for a while.
We flipped the field, didn't we? We flipped the field. You and I will get it right eventually.
Yeah, we're here. Semifinal matchup. Winner gets to go to Sun Devil Stadium as the offense is back on the field for the Dorados. Thomas is operating as the quarterback as he's looking for some blocking help, goes to the left side and definitely has enough for a comfort fit denture first down as he needed 3 and gained 5.
Derek, that Lobo defense is really struggling in these 3rd and 4th down situations, especially in that mid-range 5 to 2 yards, and that's going to be a huge factor as we move forward because right now we're facing a 1st and goal as the clock's ticking down, and the Lobos with their offense are going to need to get the ball back and do something with it.
At this point, I'm wondering why CDO is going to do anything besides put Thomas at quarterback, who's back out there. He's got receivers on either side of the line, and he's going to take the snap and look again to run to the left side, but this time the Snowflake front is able to stand firm. Might have allowed him to gain 1 or 2. Going to give him a gain of 1. Jordan Thomas now has rushed for 51 yards. As Utah just scored, you hate to see that.
Some people love to see that.
No, every good-hearted person hates to see that.
There are some people that are rooting for the Utes.
Yeah, they got the black hearts. They do. 7:20 and ticking.
I should have worn my red Utah pullover tonight, Derek, just for you.
And at quarterback is going to continue to be Jordan Thomas, but CDO calls another timeout.
Derek, something from the officiating end I've been doing is I've been timing their between snaps, and they're getting down to the 5 count. So they're carrying each play down to 35 seconds. Dare to say that part of the strategy here is to milk this clock and not give this Lobo offense an opportunity to march it down and score?
I don't know, because there's still 7 minutes. So that's an awful lot of time.
I don't disagree, but this drive has been going since the first quarter there.
Interesting here, you got Bryant and Butler playing catch on the Snowflake sideline, and it is Bryant who's throwing to Claire, who's handing it back to Butler, almost as if Butler is going to go in at quarterback.
I think you're reading a lot into it.
Well, it's usually you see the starting quarterback not asked to have to receive.
Maybe Claire was just right there and just say, hey, I'll catch you.
All right. Now that Claire is gone and the two are just playing catch with each other, so no story there.
But it's those type of things that make the broadcast interesting, correct?
I'd like to think, as back comes CDO, 2nd down and goal from the 9. 7 minutes and 6 seconds to play. McClellan has not been under center or in the shotgun at quarterback. Instead, the last 4 plays have been Jordan Thomas, who's back there again. Fake a handoff to a man in motion, running to the right side as he gets to the 5 before he is brought down. A nice tackle in pursuit from behind from Leduc.
That's Braden Leduc. I believe Braden came and just moved in here this year to Snowflake and has made quite an impact on this defensive line.
3rd down now and goal from it's from the 7. Again, I'm way off with my spot, as he only gained 2 yards on that one.
It looks like they moved, the Lobos have flopped Mowers and Munoz, and they put Munoz on that wide side, and they're flopping short and long, so we'll see what happens here with...
Tristan McClellan is back out as quarterback. 4 of 5 for 27 yards on this possession. 3 receivers with 2 going to the left. He's moving the pocket in that direction. Looking into the end zone. Now he wants to tuck it as he's going to run past the 5 before he is brought down for a gain of 3, but make it 4th down.
You know, Derek, they're spotting him actually back at the 5-yard line. I thought he was almost down to the 3 from what from what I was looking at and from what you were calling. And they spotted him clear back at the 5 on the far hash towards the CDO side. So that sets up a 4th down with a right-handed quarterback and a strong wide right side, if you can say that correctly.
Sending the offense back out again. If they start this drive on the 5 and don't get any points, that could feel like a big swing. There's 5 minutes
absolutely.
and 40 seconds left here in the half, and pistol formation is out for the Dorados. Now 2 receivers come off the line. They got 4 split wide. Couple of hard counts. Nobody's moving for the Lobos. Estacio is deep in the pistol as they're counting off with the back judge, and it doesn't look. Yep. There's the flag.
And CDO, it is to note, Derek, that we're going to have a delay of game.
The offense, 5 yards, still 4th down.
Derek noted there is that they have no timeouts. They were unable to stop that clock.
Were they calling timeout?
I don't think they were, but I believe as an official, if they don't have any timeouts, you're told to ignore it. Whereas in basketball, when they're calling a timeout and you don't have any, it's a technical foul. I think in football, you're just ignored.
So they're going to move it back 5 yards and attempt what would be a 22-yard field goal. Snap is down. The kick is away. It's low, but good.
That was a very, very, very powerful kick straight through the uprights.
5 minutes and 7 seconds left in the half, and CDO strikes first, now leads 3-0 on Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
CDO goes, well, I guess we're going to call that an 87-yard drive after they were pushed back, and the kick was successfully completed by Alex Zillman as he's out there for the Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, do so at NPC. You'll pay the lowest tuition in the state, as this one's very short and angling. Well, it's going to be taken at the 35 and still on his feet at the 40, and going down to the 45 is Cooper Rapier.
You know, short kickoff, I always wonder about that strategy, but you do kind of want to avoid those deep return men for the Lobos. But that sets up 5 minutes left in the half, three timeouts for the Lobos, and much shorter of a field than we would have anticipated.
Ball had been spotted over the 43, now brought back to the Snowflake side of the 43. Lobos with great field position here as they're starting on their own 43. McCray is the single back as he gets the call, trying to run to the right side and can't get through that first level. Again, great pursuit and very quick front seven here for the Dorados to stop him after a 2-yard gain.
They're going to mark him for a 2-yard gain, and it's just Derek. It's getting those positive yards.
Second down now and 8, as Snowflake's shown a variety of formations right now, again with McCray, the single back. 3 receivers just off the line to the left. Single man out wide to the right is Papa. Bryant with a hard snap, and now hands off to McCray. This time he's got a big hole. Runs to the 50, still on his feet as he spins into CDO territory. Winds up, well, they're going to mark him just shy of the yard marker. Gains 7 and sets up 3rd and very short, but I didn't know if he was down.
You know, I wasn't sure of that either, Derek. It looked like he was almost pulled by his jersey but he drugged the guy like a yard pulling his jersey.
So 3rd down and short after CDO holds the football for a very long time. Snowflake now with 4 minutes on the clock. Split backs on either side of Bryant. Handoff Lerma. Cuts it up as he falls over the 45, and this time has a Comfort Fit Denture first down and a gain of 4.
J.J. Lerma, the senior's just been solid. If you remember last year, he had an injury kind of cut him out for the season and was watching mostly from the sidelines, and has really taken a lot of opportunities this year to get over that and to really contribute to this Lobo offense.
VJ King was just told that he's going to have to remove himself, perhaps for some sort of equipment situation, as the Lobos are right back into Dorado territory. 3:35 to go, 3-0 they trail, 1st and 10. And now play is being stopped by the officials.
The officials are communicating on radios, so we'll see what we can hear. I'm not sure exactly what the issue was. I don't think it was related to getting sent to the sidelines, but
they came over and talked to the Snowflake sideline about something.
It almost looked like they were pointed in the direction of one of the media cameras on the field.
Well, now with Claire in motion behind the line of scrimmage, handoff goes to Butler, who's going to try to find some room over the left side, but gets stopped before he can get to the line of scrimmage. Loss of 3.
Derek, I'm not sure that it was a misblocking assignment or if the CDO defensive line just worked their way through and was able to get through the line and stop Butler right there, because Butler usually a runner who can get some very positive yards.
So 2nd down now and 13. Butler, who had started the year at quarterback and was a mobile quarterback at that. And I think he's still out there.
He is still, Derek.
So he's got running backs on either side of him. Fake the handoff, and he winds up trying to go to this near sideline where it's off of Ezra Baum's hands. Would have been a gain of about 10, which would have set up 3rd down and 4-ish, but instead it is 3rd and long.
3rd and long, and I don't know if CDO gets the ball back if they're able to make much of a drive right here, so we could be looking at a 3-0 ball game going into halftime.
Bryant back off the sideline. Butler goes wide right. He's joined by 2 other receivers. Single man left on the close side as McCray is in the backfield with Bryant, who moves the pocket to the right side, winds up looking for Claire. Caught at the 35, brought down immediately, but forward progress might have enough for a Comfort Fit Denture 1st down. They signal move the chains.
Great job by Tyler Clare there, not only to run that route, but it looked like he seemingly shook off that linebacker and was able to make that catch. Very slightly thrown up and above. Perfect spot for a tight end to catch that ball. You know, a good tight end, Derek, they can block, they can tackle, they can catch the good pass, catch the bad pass. Great job there by Tyler Clare.
2:35 left in the half. 3 receivers coming out wide left. Claire's in the middle of them. Bryant at quarterback. McCray behind him as they want to set up a screen to him, and he's got to outrun somebody in the backfield and cannot do so. It's a great stop there in the flat by Zamorano. McCray stopped for a loss of 3. So 2nd time in as many sequences that the Lobos are going to have to start behind the chains. They were able to successfully convert with McCray on the last possession, who's now headlining trips just off the side of the right of the line. Again, a single man split wide left as Bryant drops back, flushed a little bit, drops it off underneath where it's caught by Butler, but he is met immediately and stopped after a 5-yard gain, make it 3rd and long.
Is that King in on the stop for number 21 for the Dorados? King making a stop there, but the Lobos get some positive yards and going to bring up. I thought it was 4th down. Am I wrong, Derek?
No, it's 3rd down.
It is 3rd down.
7.
You're right. 3rd and 7 for the Lobos.
Going across the dial here. Papa on the left, Lerma, Claire, and Butler split wide right. And they're going to get McCray for flinching in the backfield.
Start the stat. False start. Number 6. 3rd down.
So Bryant comes out with a really hard snap and count, and he fooled his running back, who was standing just to his left.
It was the crowd noise, Derek. It was the crowd noise.
So 3rd down now and 12. The yards gained on the previous possession negated. 70 seconds left here in the half. And the Lobos behind the sticks. Fake the handoff to McCray, looking left. High toss, going to be brought down by Papa. And he's going to be shy.
He's going to be short, Derek, just barely.
Gains 11, out of bounds to stop the clock with 54 seconds. But
actually, they're moving him. They're moving him. They are moving him.
51 yards now thrown by Bryant.
Derek, that's one of the advantages of having a 7-man crew. These linesmen can stop and the deep wings can stop and get these spots almost perfect.
1st down and 10, trailing 3-0. Snowflake Hand off to McRae, who's this time able to get into the second level, but he stopped at the 10, though he picks up 12 and has a Comfort Fit Denture first down.
Jet McRae, they have him listed as 5'9", 180, and he is only a junior, looking for big things from him for the next couple years. And if the Lobos have any chance of getting in the end zone, we're ticking down to 40 seconds. However, they do have 3 timeouts.
Not opting to use one now. Split backs on either side of Bryant. Handoff goes to Lerma, who stopped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe gains 1 or 2, but this time Snowflake going to have to burn one of the timeouts.
Not a bad strategy there for the Lobos as the ball creeps down. That gives them an opportunity, I think, to run. Do you think they can get 3 plays off, or are they going to be able to get 2?
30 seconds?
3 plays with 2 timeouts. You never know in high school ball. It's a different. Teams practice it, they drill it, but when it comes to the game time, it's always a little bit different.
Lobos know how to move fast, though, as we remind you that the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport halftime report is upcoming. 30 seconds in a game that is moving like it's trying to run from the law right now. 3-0, just a handful of possessions combined, as both teams looking to keep it on the ground, but both teams have been finding success when they've started to air it out. Only points scored right now by the Dorados, and that came on a drive that started on their own 5-yard line. You got to wonder right now, though, CDO is going to play in a little bit more elevation than most of the teams coming from Metro Phoenix that Snowflake has locked horns with. That still playing in far more elevation right now, that they might be starting to feel a little bit winded. They took quite a few extra beats relative to what Snowflake needed on this timeout. Lobos will still have 2. 2nd down and 9. Bryant with the snap, moves the pocket to the left. Now he wants to tuck it as he's running for his life before brought down behind the line of scrimmage. And a big stop there, I believe, by, again, Zamorano.
Zamorano in there on the tackle for the Dorados. You know, Derek, this CDO team actually came up yesterday. I believe they practiced. I believe they stayed the night. So not a full time to get accustomed to this altitude, but it is a little bit of a chance to come up here and feel it a little bit. We've noticed that the flag was breezy. We had about, 12 to 20 mile an hour winds, and the flag is effectively hanging absolutely vertical right now, and there's no breeze at all, and we're looking at about 48 degrees, so not a horrible night for the Dorados to come up here, and they're taking every advantage of this weather.
I would advise against that coming up early. I mean, do you feel worse the day after you're in elevation?
I don't, there's every which way, you can be right, you can be wrong, but
3rd down and 9. Snowflake with a capable kicking game could potentially tie it, so no need to necessarily start thinking about going for it on 4th down as they empty the backfield. McRae going to the right. Bryant looking in that direction. Now he's going to tuck it. Runs through one tackler, spins around nearly, I should say, another as he gets to the 10. That's an awful lot of work for a gain of 1. And Snowflake uses its final timeout with 16 seconds remaining. I would wager that Braden Lewis is going to make an appearance.
Braden Lewis or, who was kicking last week for him? Brown. Either Lewis or Brown's going to come in. Number 14, Sam Brown, coming in. Derek, you have an update on that Pac-12 game?
Well, the worst people in the world have it, and they've moved it into USC territory. 3rd and 10, trailing 17-10 with 34 seconds left.
The worst people in the world?
Yes.
Okay.
3rd and 10 play is going to be thrown underneath, and, the worst people in the world will move the chains. So good things continuing to happen for terrible people.
I believe Brown is out there for the 5'10 sophomore is out there to try to tie this up right now.
They are going to spot this on the 17. So by my math, there's a 27-yarder that comes after. CDO is able to convert on a 22-yarder. Snap is down. Pressure is had. Kick is up. And it's no good. Pressure again coming from the right of the Snowflake line. They have been allowing an awful lot of presences in the backfield when they attempt these kicks here in the 4A conference level, and that was not different. And we'll have to see how mightily that's going to weigh on the outcome here, is they're right now going to go into the locker room trailing 3-0.
And do to note that CDO does get the ball to start the second half as we watch the beginning of the game, and they'll go in and make some adjustments. The Lobos will go in and make some adjustments and buckle in for a second half. We're at some low-scoring football. I thought it was the World Cup for a second. No pun intended.
Here is McClellan, who's going to take a knee, and the clock is going to run out with CDO going on a 87-yard drive, converting on a 22-yard field goal to make it a 3-0 game here in the semifinals at Snowflake High School. As that'll send us into the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport halftime report. Lobos trail 3-0. We'll tell you about it after this on Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Since 2006, Beeler Orthodontics has been creating spectacular smiles in the White Mountains. Dr. Beeler and his team use innovative technology and cutting-edge orthodontics while still providing a hometown experience. From traditional braces and clear aligners to surgical orthodontics, Dr. Beeler works with smiles of all ages. So call them today to schedule a complimentary exam at 928-537-7775 or visit them at BeelerOrtho.com. Beeler Orthodontics. Live to smile, love your smile.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Hey everyone, it's Joe G from Horn Auto Center and the Deuce of Clubs in Sholo. People are saying to me, hey Joe, what's going on with these used car prices? Well, we have to use live market value when we take people's vehicles in on trade. We're giving top dollar right here at Horn Auto Center, using live market value, what vehicles are selling for in the last 90 days. Horn Auto Center, the Chevy and GMC store that saves you more.
Winning takes focus, preparation, and support. Keep focus on your dream career while saving thousands in tuition costs at Northland Pioneer College. We're here to support your goals and see you succeed. Visit npc.edu to see our programs. An academic advisor will get you on the right path to achieve your educational goals. Northland Pioneer College, expanding minds, transforming lives.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable, always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you. Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Who sells the number one truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Since 2006, Beeler Orthodontics has been creating spectacular smiles in the White Mountains. Dr. Beeler and his team use innovative technology and cutting-edge orthodontics while still providing a hometown experience. From traditional braces and clear aligners to surgical orthodontics, Dr. Beeler works with smiles of all ages. So call them today to schedule a complimentary exam at 928-537-7775 or visit them at BeelerOrtho.com. Beeler Orthodontics. Live to smile, love your smile.
The Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport halftime report as the Snowflake Lobos trail CDO 3-0. Canyon del Oro kicked it off, forced a 3-and-out after Snowflake had suffered a false start on its first play. Had to kick it off, but the Lobos got it right back, forcing a 3-and-out from the Dorados. Then Snowflake put together the first drive of the ball game, able to take it inside the 35, but wound up punting it. I beg your pardon. They took it inside the 40. Wound up punting it. It was down at the 5. And this ball control offense, which started showing a couple of different wrinkles. It started with a couple of completed passes where McClellan, on that drive, wound up going 4 of 5 for 27 yards. But the big plays all came when Jordan Thomas was taking snaps directly. He has the game's longest play at 23 yards. That came on 4th and 1, Hewish. And that one, you mentioned at the time, felt like it might have been a backbreaker. It's tough to say because there's still so much football to be played. But right now, with the defenses dominating, that single play right now, the difference in the game.
Well, a lot of times, Derek, when you look at after them, you say, oh, they're totally in control, they're totally in control. Right now, they're not totally in control, but CDO is in control of this game, much to the chagrin of this Lobo faithful over here. And they get the ball to start this half, as we mentioned earlier. And what they do with it, if they keep going on these long drives, they have the potential to go on an 8-9 minute drive, and that would be a serious backbreaker for the Lobos.
Now, here's a 12-sided die of a scenario. Because when we have watched teams come from the south to play Snowflake, they usually hit a wall sometime in the third quarter. Now, you could turn that around and say, well, CDO's offense has kept its defense off the field for so much of the time, but we're seeing a lot of the same numbers playing on both sides of the ball. So even though the Snowflake defense has been tasked with having to stay on the field an awful lot, and the Lobos really don't go both ways very often, they are probably still going to watch these guys run down a little bit because there are a lot of players going both sides for the Dorados.
I think the Lobos have one or two that spot play on defense, but pretty much they're rolling out in a whole fresh squad each time. And these Dorados, we are calling very similar numbers each way. So the altitude, and Derek, I know it's not bitterly cold like it has been. However, it is a chilly night. There is at altitude. There's a breeze that has picked up, and you take off your helmet on a little bit of a breezy night, and it hits you a little bit. It can be a little bit of a shock to your system, but CDO right now going to get this ball. Each team's going to go in and make adjustments, and we're going to see how it's responded to start this second half. And I dare say that the first touchdown wins the game. I don't know how accurate that's going to be, but I would actually go out on a limb and say that at this point.
Now, it seems as if the biggest adjustment the Lobos got to make is how to contain Jordan Thomas when he's taking direct snaps.
I wonder if CDO is going to keep him in doing that and going to start keeping that in, because it's worked every time. There's been, I think, once that he was dropped for a loss.
Got a score here we can give you from the other side of the bracket. ALA Gilbert North playing 13-seeded Lake Havasu. And not surprising that it leads 28-7. Is the winner of this one is going to get the winner of that one, and they're going to play at Sun Devil Stadium on Saturday next. Right now, a little bit of contrast in styles. Of course, the Lobos played ALA Gilbert North, and that was before they really kind of hunkered down defensively. But those Eagles are looking tough to beat.
They look very tough to beat, and the winner of this gets to probably face them. As I saw that Lake Havasu matchup, one of the things that I thought is, I don't remember the young man's name, but Lake Havasu has a very talented running back, and one of the things I noticed about that is that I thought ALA Gilbert's run defense wasn't as top-notch as a top team in 3A would be, so I thought this might be a good matchup. However, I wasn't sure Lake Havasu could contain their offensive attack, and you're seeing right now with the 28-7 ball game, they're seemingly going to walk into the finals at Sun Devil Stadium next week.
Got the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport halftime report, 3-0 CDO leading. We thank everybody who's tuned in. We especially thank Schizoid Man. A lot of love, and glad that you're tuned in with us. As it's halftime here at Snowflake High School, 3-0, the Lobos are down. We'll have more here on Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Hey everyone, it's Joe G from Horn Auto Center and the Deuce Clubs in Sholo. People are saying to me, hey Joe, what's going on with these used car prices? Well, we have to use live market value when we take people's vehicles in on trade. We're giving top dollar right here at Horn Auto Center, using live market value, what vehicles are selling for in the last 90 days. Horn Auto Center, the Chevy and GMC store that saves you more.
Winning takes focus, preparation, and support. Keep focused on your dream career while saving thousands in tuition costs at Northland Pioneer College. We're here to support your goals and see you succeed. Visit npc.edu to see our programs. An academic advisor will get you on the right path to achieve your educational goals. Northland Pioneer College, expanding minds, transforming lives.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable, always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Mountain Mobile Auto. Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Leading here on the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport halftime report, as the Dorados right now led by Jordan Thomas is 54 yards on 9 carries, 6 yards on 4 carries for Kendrick Estacio, 1 yard combined for VJ King and Jose Alba, as Tristan McClellan leading CDO through the air, 4 of 5 for 27 yards. Leading receiver, as he spread those 4 receptions out to 4 different receivers, is VJ King. He has 1 for 10 yards. On the other side of it, the Lobos have Bryant, who's 7 of 9 for 51 yards. His favorite target thus far has been Tyler Clare, who's caught 2 for 24. Otherwise, McCrae has 2 for 5, and Butler has a 1 for 5, and it looks like I missed somebody. Actually, I know exactly who that was. That was Peyton Papa, and he caught 1 for about 12. McCrae had run for 27 yards on 6 carries. Lerma has run for 16 yards on 5 carries. Otherwise, right now, it's a defensive struggle, and it's going to be CDO football on the other end of this, as that's the end of the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport halftime report. The second half begins after this on Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Since 2006, Beeler Orthodontics has been creating spectacular smiles in the White Mountains. Dr. Beeler and his team use innovative technology and cutting-edge orthodontics while still providing a hometown experience. From traditional braces and clear aligners to surgical orthodontics, Dr. Beeler works with smiles of all ages. So call them today to schedule a complimentary exam at 928-537-7775 or visit them at BeelerOrtho.com. Beeler Orthodontics. Live to smile, love your smile.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Winning takes focus, preparation, and support. Keep focused on your dream career while saving thousands in tuition costs at Northland Pioneer College. We're here to support your goals and see you succeed. Visit npc.edu to see our programs. An academic advisor will get you on the right path to achieve your educational goals. Northland Pioneer College, expanding minds, transforming lives.
Nothing here at the end of the half. Forgot to do the Horn Auto Center drive of the half, which has to be that one that started at the 5 for the Dorados. It's got to be.
We want to give a shout out to all our sponsors, but definitely the drive of the half there was that 87 you had it for?
Yeah.
87-yard drive.
Don't take that to the bank.
But more importantly, we didn't even have a time on that, but we think it was about 6 minutes.
Oh, no, it was well beyond that. It started just under midway through the first quarter. And
was it midway through? Okay,
yeah.
I didn't realize that. You're most likely more right than I am.
That concludes the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport halftime report as Sam Brown's got it teed up. Back to receive for the first time today. A couple of Dorados. Actually got 4 capable playmakers back there for the Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, do so at Northland Pioneer College. You pay the lowest tuition in the state. Is this one going to fake the reverse as it's head and into the open field, looking for some blocking help as it's kicked to the near side, and all sorts of green at the 40, the 30, the 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Aiden Yeskus takes it 90 yards and a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass touchdown.
And Derek, I don't know what to say about the Lobos coverage there. It looked like they were in the right spots, but guys that have made those plays all year did not come up with those plays, and he was able to break that free to the outside. And once he broke it at about his own 45, it was gone.
They came and faked the reverse. Oh, but hold on a minute. There's a flag at the 30. And we were so busy trying to figure out what had happened.
I looked and I didn't see it. I did not see it.
Well, Yeskis is said to be a sophomore. And we have not seen number 43 out there yet. So the good news is having to run just about 100 some yards. Oh. They're going to say a holding occurred at the 30.
Derek, I thought one of the Lobo players was potentially pushed in the back and cut, and so that would have probably been in the realm of holding. And I didn't want to criticize the officiating crew, but they definitely got that call right. I believe it was number 7, Garrett Flake, was kind of swept and thrown under a little bit and wasn't able to get out there on that one. So I think a great call.
The temperature has dipped. It's chilly.
It's
officially chilly.
It is. I'm doing very well. Derek, I don't even have the heater on tonight.
Well, you cray. As here comes Jordan Thomas. He's going to take the snap directly and start bouncing to the near side where he is spilled after he runs over the 20 but gains 4. And again, I dare ask, why do anything besides this as he's been gaining. Well, he's been rushing for about 8 or 9 yards a carry. And even if he's only gaining 4, do that 3 times and you're moving sticks.
Derek, one of the things you mentioned earlier was the fact that they are running a no-huddle offense somewhat. They seem to be coming to the line, calling a play, coming to the line, and looking back.
McClellan now in at quarterback, 2 receivers to his left. Single man on his right in the backfield, I believe, is Estacio, as he drops back and looks to the right side. Caught by one of his receivers who runs through a tackler to get to the 30 before he is knocked down and has a comfort fit denture first down. As there on the reception is Casil. Gain of 7, and they will move the chains.
It's always interesting to see what coaches make as halftime adjustments, and right now CDO has made enough to put a little bit of oomph in their step as they move to start this second half.
Had a 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, pulled off the scoreboard because of a holding penalty. So starting this drive on their own 20, Thomas is back off the sideline. And now laid off the sideline for the Dorados is Austin Greer. McClellan with his man on his right. Man in motion is Greer. Fake the handoff as actually that was Thomas who was in the shotgun, as I believe he takes that one to the left of the line and gains 2 or 3, make it second down and a few.
It looks like Jordan Mowers, number 42, the defensive end for the Lobos, in there on the stop. However, there's some positive yards to be gained.
Now 61 yards gained on 11 carries for Thomas, and that includes the 23-yarder on 4th and 1. As he is again poised to come out and operate as the quarterback. Got a big dude standing to his right. That's been one of the things that's been throwing me as they fake the handoff. Now he's going to move to his right, but gets stopped. And at the line of scrimmage is there with the stop for the Lobos was Leduc. Thomas actually gains a yard, so it makes it 3rd down. And, well, they're calling it 6.
Great job by the Lobo line there to create that wall and have those backers bounce out and make that stop.
Now, we don't know how often Thomas comes out and takes snaps directly as quarterback, but McClellan now off the sideline after having watched those first 2 plays. One might wonder if it's difficult for him to set up any sort of rhythm, as he's got Casil coming out wide to the right. Single man in the backfield next to him looks to be Estacio. Snowflake showing a little bit of pressure now as McClellan's going to run with it and slides at the 37, but that's well short of a first down.
Derek, I'm timing these plays in between like I did just something to me telling me, and these Dorados are getting it down to 38, 39 seconds every time, so they're doing it under the 40 seconds, but interesting how tight they're making it and how they're trying to take every bit of this clock as they move down this, and I don't know if we're seeing a punt unit come on here.
Well, it's 4th down and 4. Butler had assumed. But now he's called back off the field as it looks as if they're going to put Jordan Thomas at quarterback. He needs 4 yards. No, it's not going to be Thomas. Hold on. Play stopped before it gets off, and CDO takes a timeout with 8 minutes and 14 seconds to play in the third. It's the first drive, and it's almost lasted 4 minutes. The CDO leads 3-0 on Shoulder Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
It's not happening.
Well, I believe that Derek, I'm timing these plays in between, and CDO is flirting with this 38, 39 seconds every time. In fact, I'm having them go over 40 a few times. The play clock, that is, counting down.
Punting unit is out for the Dorados as Butler is back to receive. Lewis has some pressures. This one pushed to the right but takes a Dorado bounce over the 40 and will roll to the 35. So reasonably decent field position for Snowflake, which had attempted a 27-yard field goal with a little bit of pressure, pulled it to the left, did Sam Brown, and right now that's the difference in the ballgame.
You know, sometimes these high school hash marks are quite wider than the college and the pros, so that is a little bit, the closer you get into that field goal range, it almost looks like the angle's thrown off a little bit, and I don't know if that's what happened to Brown or if Brown just swung it a little bit to the side on that missed field goal.
Bryant at quarterback with running backs on either side, receivers as well. As the handoff goes McCray, but he's met at the line of scrimmage, and then 2 other Dorados join. As the first player there was a pretty big fella, and I believe that was
66.
I thought it was 55. Oh boy, Sakiley Woodard. But
Sakiley Woodard, I think you're absolutely correct. They're going to call him back to the line of scrimmage. I actually thought he lost yardage, Derek, from our vantage point. He must have been able to fight for another couple hard yards on the ground.
Sent receivers again on either side. Butler just off the slot as the handoff is going to come back to a pitch to Butler. He's around the far end over the 40 and across the yard marker as he gets to the 46. And has enough for a Comfort Fit Denture first down. That was a crafty play. I didn't see the initial give.
I thought that was a fantastic play. Again, it's not about necessarily trying to deceive your opponents. It's trying to outguess them. And I guess there's a little bit of deception there, but that's the name of the game with football. That was a great play call. Got Butler out in the open and gave the Lobos the first down, their first Comfort Fit Denture's first down of the half.
7:16 to go in the third. 3-0 Snowflake trailing now. With the ball marked on their own 45, the Lobos have the same formation with Butler just off the line. Fake the handoff as Bryant pressured. Now looking to the left where he's trying to get it to Claire, who's going to outfight a man and then take him down to the 35 into CDO territory as they're contending for an interception with Jordan Thomas. And then all he can do is hang on for dear life with the big fella who has the catch in a 20-yard gain.
Derek, to paint the picture for the people at home, Claire caught that ball and then he drug him a good 7 yards down the field before he was able to make the tackle. And if Thomas doesn't hold on, Claire goes for another 10 to 20.
Now kicking bomb out wide left. Butler to the right. Split backs on either side of Bryant, who gives away to Lerma. Running to the right side where he's looking for some blocking help, but it was well sealed there, especially on that edge, and it allowed coming from behind. Zamorano, we've been calling his name an awful lot on the defensive side, and he winds up getting credited with the stop, but not before Lerma gains 5.
Lerma with a gain of 5 on that play, Derek, and Zamorano has been. Now, my question to you is, we're not
he's not on their offensive.
He is not, so that's why he's getting in there and making all the stops. So a fresh Zamorano is going to be huge for these Dorados. 4
receivers, 3 to the left on the open side. Bryant instead hands off to McCray, who's going to get to the second level, run through another tackler before he's spun down by 2, but not before he gets into the red zone after he picks up 16 yards and a Comfort Fit Denture first down.
Derek, not much you can say there about Jet McCray. Just solid football, smash mouth. And here's that fatigue you had talked about a little bit. And I do think that's coming into a factor here. And you said it at halftime that CDO's offense is keeping their defense off the field. Well, right now the Lobos are kind of pushing that issue a little bit. And with these two-way players, it's going to hurt.
It's on the 18. Second time in as many possessions that the Lobos are in the red zone as Bryant's hard snap is given way to McCray, who tries to run to the left, but it's read like a book. There's 3 or 4 Dorado defenders there waiting for him, and again, it's Woodard who's leading the charge as he was filling that gap, and there was no space for McCray to run through as he winds up losing a yard.
Derek, all year we've seen this Lobo offensive line create these holes, and today I don't know if CDO's just plugging it with these backers or if their line is just met kind of its match tonight. So I'm not sure what we're seeing right now.
Pop is out wide right. Bryant takes the snap, starts rolling to the left, drops it off underneath, but kind of threw it behind Lerma, who's able to gather it in, but can't do more than fall forward and is marked down at the 16 for a gain of 3, now 3rd and long.
3rd and long, but Lerma kind of had that ball thrown a little bit behind him, was able to grab it and get another yard after he caught, but Bryant was being chased down, so credit Bryant for getting that ball out there where Lerma could even see and catch it, and then Lerma for getting those hard yards.
Off to the right, you have Lerma, Claire, and Butler. McCray also in the backfield, standing on Bryant's right side and into the neutral zone, but no flag. Delayed give to McCray, and he doesn't have any space to run through as he gets to the 15, might have gained 1 or 2, but my question is how come there wasn't an encroachment flag?
We don't have the vantage point and see if he did not cross that neutral zone into that neutral zone. He could have been lining it back, so we don't know. Now Derek, I seemingly think the Lobos are going to line up to go for this, and this is going to be huge as we're 4.5, approaching 4.5 to get through this 3rd quarter of play.
It would be about a 33-yarder as Bryant right now adjusting all of his receivers. Claire now is going to come off the line on the right side. McCray offering some blocking help as Bryant has to unload, and he was being pressured and forced to throw that one away because Caden Goldtooth was in his face, and the Lobos will turn it over on downs.
You know, Derek, there are a couple young sophomores starting on this line for the Lobos, and they're kind of showing a little bit of their age right there, and you saw a little bit of frustration with a couple of the linemen there as they weren't able to seal that block and had that pressure facing Bryant. Bryant kind of just had to chuck that at a receiver's feet to even get that ball out there to kind of meet where it needed to go, and that cost the Lobos big. Now you start the second guess. Do you put Brown back out there after missing that first field goal? Are you going to get that other opportunity? But your defense is only allowed 3 points.
Estacio is standing next to Thomas, and he's going to get the call as he runs to the right side, but gets brought down after a very short gain. Nice stop there by Mowers.
Jordan Mowers, number 42, coming from the defensive end. It looks like Mowers and Munoz are switching sides. Mowers coming to the short side to Munoz, and they haven't been running Munoz's way a ton from what I've been able to see. And I don't know if that's something that they've seen on film or if they're respecting Tony that much or if they truly feel like that right guard and right tackle combination is pushing things forward.
Thomas again going to operate as the quarterback, again with Estacio on his right. Takes the shotgun snap, this time pulls it back. He wants to try to run to the right side, but this time the Lobos have it well read, no gain.
You know, Derek, that time I saw the defensive end Mowers come out. Now, Mowers didn't make the stop, but what he did is he forced that back into his teammates. So that's 2 plays in a row. We've seen Jordan Mowers be a huge factor against the CDO line. And from what I've seen, number 72, and that's Aaron Jacobson, for the Dorados is matched up against a much smaller Mowers, and Mowers is kind of doing his best to shuck that off and make these plays.
McClellan back in at quarterback, 3rd down and 6 with 3 minutes and 13 seconds left in the 3rd, 3-0. CDO has the lead from the pistol. Snowflake looking like it wants to show some pressure, but it's picked up. Now throwing this one down to the far side where it's going to be hauled in. Caught by Beck, and he is gone. Caught at the 45, and he runs into the end zone for an 80-yard score. And now there's that 10-0 lead that CDO thought that it had on the opening kick.
And the only problem with that, Derek, is now they have a 10-0 lead, but 9 minutes have ticked off the clock since then. And so the Lobos are going to get this back with 3 minutes left in the half, and I think the Lobos are going to need to go on a major drive and have some major plays and not get caught behind the chains like they did last drive in order to make this work.
I had assumed the extra point as in to do the kicking.
I'm sorry, you're right.
Zillman. Beck, who just hauled that in from 80 yards out, is operating as the holder. The snap is down, the kick is away, and it's good. A Mountain Mobile Auto Glass touchdown, and the first of the ball game comes with 2 minutes and 55 seconds, and the Dorados now lead 10-0 in the semifinal matchup here at Snowflake High School. And Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on italk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, do so at Northland Pioneer College. You'll pay the lowest tuition in the state of Arizona. As CDO up from Tucson now leads 10-0 here at Snowflake High. As Zillman kicks this one high and short. Running underneath it and taking it at the 15 is McCray, but he's going to be met at the 25. So there's going to be an awful lot of real estate for the Lobos, who are now down 10. They have taken it into the red zone on each of their last 2 possessions, but have no points to show for it. At the end of the half, it was a 27-yard field goal that was pulled to the left, and then having to go for it on 4th and 8. Not able to do so successfully, and looking like they were one play away from getting the ball back after a 3 and out. Instead, an 80-yard pitch and catch between Tristan McClellan and Dalen Beck, and it is CDO that is right now in the driver's seat. Interesting, after they came off the field on the last possession, you had Butler, who was previously the quarterback for the Lobos, was talking to Bryant, and now Butler's going to come back out and operate with running backs on either side. As the give goes to Lerma, he's tackled forward but spun over to the 25. Correction, that is not Lerma.
Brimhall.
That is Brimhall, as, well, he's only credited with a 3-yard gain. Stingy.
Derek, I think we're seeing it here, especially watching the crowd and watching both sidelines. There has been a huge momentum shift in this game, and if the Lobos have any, they have to do something here, even if they don't score, to get this crowd and their sideline back into this ball game.
Still going with Butler, who again gives to Brimhall, trying to step out of a tackler at the 30, but he's able to do little more than pull him down to the 32. Gain of 4, make it 3rd and 4.
I don't think we can understate how big of a 3rd down this is right here. I see the body language sinking, Derek, on the sideline right now.
Baum and Papa going out wide left to right respectively. Claire just off the line on the right side as they fake the handoff. Butler now throws it underneath where it's hauled in by Baum. He's stopped at the 37, gains 6, and moves the chains with a Comfort Fit Denture first down.
Minute 48 left on the clock here as we're going to set the chains and start this clock again. Great job by Baum. Great job by Butler in getting that out. And the Lobos go into the passing game with Butler as well as putting Brimhall in. And I believe Brimhall and Lewis are in right now as the backs.
Claire again up front, just off the right of the line. Fake the handoff as Butler now wants to go over the top. Baum's got behind the defense, but he can't haul it in. It splits his hands. And there's a difference between the two when you got Beck, who gets behind the defense and has this thing hit him, what would have been just over the head. He's able to bring it down, but Baum could not do so on a perfectly delivered ball there by Butler.
Great delivered ball. Baum just couldn't get his hands to come down with that ball, and that's, again, that momentum we talked about. Even that's a positive, somewhat positive play for the offense. You see some good things. It still is a letdown in the end. And Baum coming off the sidelines a little bit dejected, even limping a little bit after that one.
2nd down and 10 as Butler going to keep this one. Looking for some blocking help as he scoots over the 40, dives over the 45, and is stopped at the 46, a yard shy of the first down marker, make it 3rd and short.
You know, Derek, Butler cut that ball in, and it looked to me like he had some open field to his right, but then we had that defender, that was number 3, I believe, for the Dorados come in, Krominga, and Krominga essentially forced him back in, and Butler was taken down by the linebacker there for the Dorados.
1 minute to play in the third, 10-0 CDO leading. As the handoff this time will go to Brimhall, trying to get to the left, but he's stopped at the line of scrimmage, but his inertia might have done it. as he's going to be about a half-yard short.
And I think if you're the Lobos, you go for this here. You do what you can to get these positive yards. Put your faith on the backs of this young line. Number 75 in for the Dorados, coming in to sew up this middle.
4th and short as Butler's going to keep it, run to the right side, and gets to the 50. Well, stopped at the 49. Stops the clock with 26 seconds to play in the third after a Comfort Fit Denture first down.
Lobos do not have to run a play here. That clock cranks up, and we're going to run under the 20-second mark. And as that happens, I think the Lobos are going to try to get a play off. Whether they do or not is yet to be seen, but this gives them that one extra play, possibly could be the difference in the game.
Trailing 10. Receivers again on either side, split backs on either side of Butler, who is back in at quarterback as he takes the shotgun snap, drops back, looking to the near side, where it's hauled in by Papa to 45 before being forced out of bounds as the clock hits zeros after his gain of 8. So a shot in the arm with Easton Butler hopping back under center here on this culminating drive of the third quarter. And the Lobos back in CDO territory where they have been frequently, but no points to show for it as yet as they trail 10 on Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Fourth quarter, 10-0. Had ALA Gilbert North leading Lake Havasu 28-7 in the second quarter. Down south, up from the south. CDO used an 80-yard strike to take a 10-0 lead, but now with Butler at quarterback, the Lobos are moving as he's going to take the direct snap and runs over the 40 to the 35, and still on his feet as he's over the 30, getting pushed to the 25. He's still on his feet, down to the 20. They needed 2 yards. They wind up gaining 23, and a Comfort Fit Denture first down.
You know, Derek, a lot of people are going to question, was that aiding the runner? And basically it wasn't, because he wasn't pulled. He was pushed by his line and his backs to take that ball down the field. And that was a great job by the Lobo line, making up for those couple mistakes earlier and giving this crowd and this team a little bit of momentum.
Merrick Olberg now split wide left, name that we haven't called much this year. As Butler, again going to keep this one, diving up the middle, and gets down to the 16, a gain of 2. Just going to suggest that, much like with Thomas, they might as well just keep going to that until it can be stopped.
Well, Zamora in there on the stop, and Derek, more importantly, did you see how slow Zamora was from getting up from that Zamorano?
Yeah.
Zamorano who was getting up from that hit as he met Easton Butler there. McCrae's back in, I see, for the Lobos.
As is Braden Lewis. So using the whole stable of running backs for the Lobos, as Olberg now comes out wide to the right side. Fake the handoff. Now Butler looking to throw it over the middle where he had his man Claire, but he gets tackled before the ball got to him. A flag comes out at the line of scrimmage, but the Lobos right now are asking how come there isn't a flag down at the goal line. And they got an ineligible man downfield while they missed the blatant holding in the secondary.
Now, Derek, the question.
Ineligible man downfield, number 88. He was covered up. They'll decline the penalty.
Okay, that makes more sense.
So it didn't really matter because he was covered up as a tight end and he was downfield, and that's a call that's a mechanics type thing.
Well, and that was Merrick Olberg's side, so he was.
Merrick was probably and Baum is out. He limped off the field a little bit, so Olberg's in. So they had Olberg up on the line seemingly, and so covering up Claire, and that's where the flag came in.
3rd down and 9 after the penalty flag is waved. Olberg now wide left as Butler is going to take the snap, run to the left, cut it up, trying to find some blocking help, but none is coming. He's still on his feet as he's pushed forward again over the 15 and down to the 14, where he gains 3 yards
and it looks like the field goal unit's going to come on for the Lobos to try to chip away at this Dorado lead. This is, Derek, I don't want to go out on a limb and say this is the game right here, but this is the game right here. Brown's got to get points on the board for this Lobos squad. A lot of faith, though, going back to him as Butler's going to come in to hold.
Got Brimhall. They're set up on the left edge. I couldn't see who was on the right side as Brown's attempting a 33-yarder. And there was some pressure. He gets it away, and it's good.
That's great for the Lobos to get that ball up and in, put points on the board, and now their defense just has to go to work here.
9:52 to go, and it's a one-score ball game. 10-3 CDO leads here in the semifinals. And Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
9:52 to play in the ball game. As Snowflake readying this Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, do so at Northland Pioneer College. You pay the lowest tuition in the state. This one's sent back where it will be taken by he who had run it 90 yards. Is he still on his feet? Yeskis serpentining through the center of the Snowflake coverage team, gets into the 30 before being brought down at the 31. So reasonably decent field position for the Dorados, who have the 10-3 lead right now. The difference in the ball game, I should say differences, because Lobos potentially have less 6 points on the board, having hooked a field goal at the end of the half and then going for it on 4th and 8, and couldn't get points there. And in between all of that, their 33-yard field goal would be attempts, and the one that was successful, an 80-yard touchdown strike, as Beck, who I don't see him out there, from the pistol, turn and give Thomas, bounces to the right side, he's over the 35, and he's still on his feet as he pushes it out to the 45, where he's run out of bounds after he picks up a Comfort Fit Denture first down.
That's going to be about a 13-yard gain for the Dorados, and that's something we haven't seen, is the success of being able to bounce that out and run that down the field like that.
Stops the clock, though, with 9:37 to go. The Lobos got to get this one back, and they can't allow for any points to be scored as lengthy as both teams have been going on these drives. Same formation. There's 2 blockers in front of McClellan, who's in the pistol with Thomas behind him. Turns and gives Thomas again, trying to run to the right side. He turns it up over the 50, and he's going to get spilled over the 45, down to the 43. Picks up another 12-yard gain and another Comfort Fit Denture first down.
Derek, that looked like an identical play and nearly identical results for him on that ball. We cross over midfield, and the Dorados into Lobo territory. Well into Lobo territory now.
This set at the 43. Clock wasn't running. I was confused, as I didn't think he went out of bounds, but they got everything set, and now same formation. Got a receiver just off the line as it's fumbled, but falling on as I think that was a direct snap to Zamorano. It's the first time we've called his name on the offensive side of the ball, and he winds up coughing up 2 yards.
Derek Stillo, that clock continues to click down and click down. Lobos with 3 timeouts. CDO used one earlier, so they have 2 left, and heck, everything could be a factor at this point in a close game. But this Lobo defense, that was kind of a gifted play right there, because they did lose yards.
Sets him up behind schedule. Castile now is off the line on the left. There's, again, 2 men in front of McClellan, but now Estacio, the deep back in the pistol. Turn and give, wants to run to the left side, but he's brought down in the backfield. This time it's Brimhall.
And his name we haven't called a ton, but he's been solid all year, and that might be the play of the year for that young man right there.
Well, they got to get a stop.
That is true. They do have to come up with a big stop right here, but that pushed him back another, I'm going to call it what? Do you have a loss of 3? Loss of 2?
Loss of 3, make it 3rd down and 15 with 8 minutes and 10 seconds to play. McClellan coming off the sideline, as they've been using the same formation with 2 blockers in front of McClellan, who's been working from the pistol. Now they're going to kick everybody out wide. 4 receivers, 2 on either side. Pistol formation again with Estacio, who's now going to come back. Right under center and trying to get him to come off sides. Interesting move here on 3rd and 15, and now the Dorados are going to take a timeout. Whoa. Anyway, 7:45 to go, and we'll try to figure that out here with a 10-3 CDO leading on Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Since 2006, Beeler Orthodontics has been creating spectacular smiles in the White Mountains. Dr. Beeler and his team use innovative technology and cutting-edge orthodontics while still providing a hometown experience. From traditional braces and clear aligners to surgical orthodontics, Dr. Beeler works with smiles of all ages. So call them today to schedule a complimentary exam at 928-537-7775 or visit them at BeelerOrtho.com. Beeler Orthodontics. Live to smile, love your smile.
Now we'll have just 1 timeout, and it's only a 1-possession ball game. The Lobos get this back. They can find a way in the end zone, and all of a sudden, using 2 timeouts, 1 in the 3rd quarter, and the other to set up what seemed as if a play where they were trying to get the Lobos off sides. The Dorados might be regretful. Castile now the single man split wide left. He's across from Frost. McClellan from the shotgun. Drops back, wants to set up a screen. Had by Estacio. Runs nearly through 1 tackler, but he's able to get it down to the 38. Picks up 7 to make it 4th and 7.
This brings up a very manageable 4th down. Derek, they did. I was thinking they gave him more towards the 4th and 5 mark, but what you have here is you have yourselves a 4th and 7. I don't know. I didn't know what to say.
It's 4th and 6. That was another favorable spot.
Actually, you thought it was favorable. I thought
they had him stopped a yard or 2 shy of that mark. But
interesting, because I thought they had him back, so they got it right one way or the other.
Now, CDO is right now in a crescent moon of a huddle, and now the timer being counted off, so it looks as if they want a little bit more space as the delay of game flag is called.
Pin him deep. So, Derek, your strategy here, you don't know the teams, you don't know the thought process, so they're getting the extra 5 to kick it deep and try to pin them and give these Lobos just under 7 minutes in a full field. However, 3 timeouts.
The other thing to consider is Christensen, who has done the bulk of the punt returning duties, especially when it has become colder, has had a little bit of a harder time hauling it in. It doesn't seem as if the Lobos are buying it, as CDO right now huddled up just off their sideline, as the Dorados don't look as if they're bringing a punting unit out there. McClellan is trotting out all the way out here to the near hash from the far sideline. Facing 4th and 11.
Get loud.
Estacio on McClellan's left, and H-back is Thomas in front. McClellan from the gun. Receivers on either side. As he takes the snap, and now he's going to pooch it. There's nobody back for the Lobos as it bounces through the end zone. And it will be Snowflake football on its own 20 with 6 minutes and 47 seconds. The Lobos trying to extend their season at this point, needing to get into the end zone to do so.
Well, they did get a favorable spot with that punt rolling into the end zone. And that's going to leave them, though, an 80-yard field, 6 minutes and 47 seconds left, 3 timeouts. Derek, what's worked, what hasn't? What do you do here as they make these play calls to go on this 80-yard drive?
Well, most importantly, I think after the momentum that was established on the previous possession, Easton Butler is going to come back out and play quarterback. He was more successful with his legs than anything, as he's now run for 46 yards, which is the high water mark for the Lobos, who have 3 receivers on the line. Fake the handoff as he's now going to throw it back for Lerma, who has this one off of his defender's helmet and falling incomplete. It was well defended in that he was stride for stride with Lerma, as I believe that is Ethan Krominga.
Hey, that's a great way to play defense. And, the Lobos coming out trying to put it downfield and put some points on the board. And that puts them a little bit behind. What did you call it earlier?
They're behind schedule.
The schedule. Thank you, Derek.
Trips right, including Claire. He's in the middle, single man on the far side. As Butler rolls to the right, winds up and throws a heater that's had by Claire right at the 30. It's going to depend upon the spot.
Well, the nice thing about this is if they spot it at the line, you know it's a first down. And they're going to move those chains. It's not even going to be a question at this point.
Comfort Fit Venture first down as Claire has his fourth reception now for 54 yards. 6 minutes, 34 seconds to play, 10-3.
Claire's sure done a great job wheeling in those passes from Butler and Bryant tonight.
Running backs on either side. Receivers likewise as the handoff goes to Lewis. Bounces it further to the left. He's still on his feet as he cuts it up. He's in the open field over midfield at the 40, 30, 20, 10, 5. Braden Lewis goes 69 yards. There are no flags. They are an extra point away from tying it up on the Lobos.
Derek, something interesting to note about Braden Lewis there is he actually missed out on making state in the 100 meters last year, and after watching him run that one, you would not think that was the case. There was no one close to touching him. He broke that ball about 12 yards after the run, and he put distance between himself and the entire Dorado defense at that point.
69 yards on his first carry, and it looked like he made a man miss at the line. I thought he was going to be brought down for a very short gain. Instead, he goes the distance, and Sam Brown out to try for his first extra point with 6 minutes and 22 seconds left. Butler is going to hold. You got all sorts of pressure being shown, spread wide out on either edge for the Dorados. Snap is low, it's brought down, and it's good.
That was nearly blocked, Derek, but Brown was able to punch that through, and the Lobos crowd sideline gain life in this game as it's tied up.
Tied at 10 with 6:22 to play here in the semifinals at Snowflake High School. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Snowflake has scored 10 points here in the fourth. Outside right now of a broken play where Beck was able to get right in front. I'm not even going to speculate who was trying to defend. I say broken play because it looked as if whomever was defending for the Lobos kind of came up just a little bit short. And now Brown, who just scored his fourth point, sets this one up with a short chippy that's going to be fumbled at the 30. It's still free, but eventually brought down at the 27-yard line. I like that.
That was the only thing that was bothering me, Derek, is the ball kind of scrambled around and he had jumped on it and the whistle had blown and it looked like we might have had some Lobos piling on late, and this is not the time in the game you want to get a 15-yarder. They're only going to get the ball at the 26-yard line. Great job by the Lobo special teams to get that ball. Now some momentum. The Lobo defense comes out. Let's see what this line can do. See these defensive end, Munoz and Mowers. I was going to say, but let's not even make a joke about that. Munoz and Mowers holding things down. Actually, it looks like Munoz has moved to the middle, and Bryce White. No, Munoz is out. Is that White or is that?
Might be Leduc.
It might be Leduc. Leduc's 54. That's.
Yeah. In any event, here come the Dorados with Thomas back at quarterback. Estacio in motion from the left side. He's going to serve as a lead blocker as Thomas stopped in the backfield as shy of the 25. A flag is out. Munoz was picking himself up late. This might be an illegal block below the belt. Well, they're going to get motion.
Yeah, good play. Illegal motion on the White. They were not set for a second. Penalties declined. Second down.
So the Lobos take the play and the loss of 3. Second down and 13 with the clock now stopped at 6:14. Jordan Thomas has rushed for 88 yards, but again, how's the legs feeling up here in the elevation? They're actually calling it 2nd and 12 with the clock ticking to the midway point in the fourth quarter, tied at 10. Receivers on either side. McClellan with his hands behind his back, trying to keep him warm as he sets up in the shotgun. Estacio standing on his left. Still taking some time as they're ticking it off now with the back judge.
The back judge is at the 5 count, Derek. They've been real close to that all the time.
Come back and get this one with Casillo, who's surrounded by Lobos. He runs it over the 30. Winds up gaining 6, make it 3rd and 6.
Derek, with 5.5, I would think that you have a tie game. You're not quite in 4-down territory yet. So this is a big play for the Lobos with this 3rd and 5. I think if the Lobos come up with the stop here, depending on where it's at, I think the Dorados are going to want to put this one down the field again. However, the Lobos have shown their propensity to put off a couple big plays at this point.
McClellan back into the huddle. Zamorano runs off the field as Casillo is going to come up to the close side. I was wondering why don't you just push him to the right side and run that same play just to the other direction.
To the other direction, absolutely.
Now they're going for the pistol. Shotgun snap where they fake it, and we got a procedure
We're going to have
flag.
a false start, and that, Derek, that's an automatic 5. There's no declining that. So that's going to back him up 5, and that's going to put him in a 3rd and 10. And this Lobo crowd is, I mean, we're having a bad vantage point because of all the crowd in front of us. It's become a little bit electric here at this point in the game. And I do agree with you that the chill has fallen over the stadium this evening.
3rd down and 10. 4:50 to play.
Dorados also, Derek, with only 1 timeout. And something to note here is after a penalty, the play clock now starts at 25, and they are taking their dear sweet time getting this play in. This could come down to a delay of game with 1 timeout, which is not what the Dorados want.
They're still in the huddle. There's 20 seconds that have ticked off already. They're starting the count. No, they're not. Dorado's going to work from the shotgun. McClellan taking a final look at the sideline as Locks comes in motion. They fake the handoff to him. Now trying to throw this one deep where Beck has a step, but it's overshot and incomplete. 4th down for the Lobos.
Derek, I'm not quite sure on that throw. It actually looked like it was close on the money. It almost looked like the receiver held up because you had the defensive back for the Lobos looking like they were, and that's, I don't mean he puckered a little bit, but he's puckered on that play. And this becomes now the Lobos ball game.
Butler is going to return.
Easton Butler, can we not say enough about that young man tonight?
Can't tell who's kicking here for CDO, but he's going to have to make sure he gets his hands on it. Does so. Lobos try to set up a return as Butler's going to allow this one to bounce and takes a sideways hop and will be marked out at the 34. So they figure you got to get about 50 yards to make sure that you're well within Brown's range. 4 minutes and 3 seconds left. They're tied at 10.
And we have 3 timeouts. Derek, as we move down, this seems with that run by Lewis a lot more manageable. Now, one of the things that crosses my mind is CDO is going to have to rely on big plays, and it's almost like you don't want too much of a quick strike to leave them too much time at this point.
Papa single man on the right side, push bomb out wide left. Claire is in the H-back position as Butler throws this one toward Papa.
It scoots through Papa's hands and going to be called incomplete. Although, Derek, to my last point, you don't want to take too much time, but you don't want to also allow yourself to give up points and take points off. But Lobos with a good little play call there, just Papa not able to secure it, and it looked like Baum is now back in the game.
Yep.
Baum looking to redeem earlier.
Butler from the shotgun again with running backs on either side as he gives to Lewis, this time trying to come from the left to the right side and get stopped at the 38. Lobos hop up. Now they're trying to use a little bit of tempo because I think they're sensing that CDO is a little bit gassed.
Also, I think CDO is a big play team. They've shown that they could throw that downfield and just haven't been able to hit the target.
Trips going out wide left, bomb single man on the right. In the backfield on Butler's left is Lewis. And he has a hard time with the snap, and now it's going to open up for him to run it over. He should have continued to run upfield, but instead tries to kick it outside and get stopped about 3 yards shy
Oh, Derek, your point there is absolutely right, and you can't fault him. He was just trying to make a play, but if he would have kept going in that direction as he made the cutback, he was stopped, and I think he saw the defender, but if he keeps going, he's able to dive for that first down. And that's going to bring on, looking to me like the punting team. Although I said it earlier, the Lobos did execute a very good fake punt last week, but I think CDO is going to be on extra radar alert for this one.
They got Lewis operating as the punter. Butler is going to be in front of him. So you got two playmakers. Two players back to receive for the Dorados, as there's the delay of game flag against Snowflake.
Prior to the snap, delay of game on the offense. It's 5 yards, still 4th down.
Derek, I'm not sure that's what the Lobos really wanted there, and I think that negates any chance of a fake punt. And I find it interesting that they get flagged for the 40, but yet we haven't seen it. And we've been timing these Dorados, and they seemingly have gone over that 40 quite a bit.
Yeah.
Not sure why.
All right. Coming in motion behind the line is Frost, as there's a good snap. And I think they're going to have to walk another 5 yards if CDO chooses. It's a short kick that's going to take a great Dorado bounce. And I don't know if the Lobos were set.
They're declining it. They're declining that punt. They're
Illegal motion on the offense. Penalties decline to 1st down.
So excellent field position now for CDO, which has not seemingly expressed an awful lot of confidence in its kicking game. Got to figure again somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 yards.
They did score.
They did.
On the, and I do have the distance on that. It was like
22 yards.
Yeah, it was. So he was warming up, kicking about 45 yarders after halftime in the cold.
So they started on their own 45, tied up at 10. Teams exchanged 3 and outs after Braden Lewis's 69-yard touchdown run. Is now the turn and give to Thomas. Rolls over the left side where he's going to get hit after he crosses over into Snowflake territory and a gain of 8.
And he's going to cross over into Lobo territory, and that's going to be a huge gain. We're going to have ourselves a 3rd and 2, or 2nd and 2, and the Dorados driving. Derek,
what is an awful lot of time.
Sorry, Derek. What's the target time or target line you think to get in there?
I think they got to get it to the 10. It seems as if that's where they were most confident in the first half, but who knows? Is now, I mean, they are taking so much time. 1 minute and 50 seconds left. Thomas is going to be the quarterback. He takes the snap and runs to the left, steps away from one tackler, and he's forced out of bounds by some nice pursuit from the Lobos. Does pick up a comfort fit denture first down after a gain of 5, but there's still now just 1 minute and 42 seconds left.
And they only have one timeout, and the clock is, although the clock is stopped out of bounds, as we're going to set and time this play clock again. I must be starting it off or something, because we've seen this Dorado team take this time down to the bitter end quite a bit this second half. I have the play clock at 10 seconds left.
Coming to the line, again using Thomas as the running back. Beck is split wide right, and now Estacio in motion. He's going to serve as the lead blocker as Thomas tries to cut it up, but he's stopped just inside the line. With less than a second left, they're able to get that play off, but now 90 seconds remaining, and they are showing no sign of hurry.
You know, Derek, we got to start talking a little bit about overtime and who do you give the advantage to in an overtime game? Yes. Yes.
I guess Snowflake.
I guess, I don't know. I'm asking you. You're seemingly one of the experts here.
Oh, I mean this has been played so closely. 2 big plays right now where both teams have received the lion's share of their points. As the handoff goes to Estacio, he's still on his feet, but stood up after he gets inside the 40. He's at the 43, and the clock runs. Gain of 3, 3rd down and 6. Now showing a little bit more urgency. McClellan looking at his sideline. They're calling it 3rd and 5. There's 38 seconds left. Takes the snap, turns, gives Estacio. tripped up at the line. He's going to be shy of the yard marker, so it's 4th down, 28 seconds, and no sign of a timeout.
I believe that's a timeout, Derek. I saw that the official came over from the far side and did not blow it dead for a first down, so we knew that it brought up 4th down. This is going to be a 4th and short, and one time, now no timeouts and 24 seconds left.
So here's the question. You go for the three-pointer here, and it's about 50, 51 yards. You don't get it, and it could be returned. It could be blocked. You're going to have to kick this one really low. If you go for the first down, you're going to give Snowflake the ball with 20 seconds. They have all timeouts to the Lobos, so that's enough time to try to get 30 or 40 yards and maybe, set up a field goal. There's a lot of stuff here that could go wrong.
So my first thought is I think the kicker has the power to reach the end zone. And in high school, that's an automatic touchback.
Okay.
So it's an automatic touchback. If it's blocked, that is a live ball. If it does not go to the goal line, it's a live ball. If it hits the goal line, it becomes dead. It's a touchback, and it goes out to the 20. So I don't see any sign of CDO bringing on any type of, kicking tee or holder kicker.
What's a surprise here is McClellan is coming out. I mean, if I'm calling this play, I'm just directly snapping it to number 20, and I'm saying, give me something.
The clock will stop after this play, but if it's a first down not out of bounds, it starts immediately, and they can't do anything to stop it.
They just used the final timeout to the Dorados. Going under center is McClellan. Got split backs behind him. Now King comes in motion left to right. He's going to also operate as a blocker as the handoff is going over the right side. And they do pick up the first down, but they're going to get the ball set with 21 seconds left.
The clock will start,
and
they
they're
have
starting
chance
it
to
up.
spike.
They're going to spike it. Now 17 seconds to play. Winner is almost certainly going to get ALA Gilbert North, which is leading Lake Havasu 35-14 in the third quarter. This one coming down to the very bitter end with just under 18 seconds remaining, and it's tied at 10. If you missed it, an 80-yard score
now
through the air for Beck, completed with McClellan, that was almost immediately countered by a 69 run for Lewis. You were saying?
Sorry, Derek, I didn't mean to. But one of the things is if they don't get the first down, they do not have a chance to spike it. Actually, they do. It would get to, but it does bring up a lot of interesting scenarios. Too many to even talk about right here as we go. 17.8 left.
Snowflake safeties can't play too far deep. They don't want to set up a field goal opportunity. So everybody's within 10 yards as they fake the handoff. McClellan now going to throw this one into the end zone where there's all sorts of traffic, and it's intercepted. Taken away, I think that was McCray.
Now, Derek, this is Davin McCray with the pick there. That gives the Lobos 11 seconds left to try to get down into field goal range. What is Brown's field goal range that we're thinking about? I think they got to get to at least the 25. Three timeouts.
Probably is not going to have a huge bearing on regulation, but Snowflake's feeling so confident on that sideline.
Yeah, this is one of those things that it's a game of momentum taking you into the overtime period as we're going into overtime.
Same thing here as was saying with Jordan Thomas and CDO. If I'm the Lobos, I just want number 5 to have a chance. See if Lewis is going to come off the sideline, and he will. Looks like he's going to go into the backfield where he's going to join Butler. 3 receivers coming out to the right side. Lewis going to stand here. He's right now the hero of the Snowflake Lobos, scoring on a 69-yard run, and Snowflake wants to talk about it. Okay, there's nothing fancy about it. Took that thing right off the left edge and then used that sprinter speed. If he can get into the open field again, CDO looking gassed. That could be all she wrote, but the question is, how are they going to get it? And the way that they were set up with the 3 receivers coming out here to the right side, I think that those were 3 blockers is the way of looking at that.
I think you could be absolutely right because they're just looking for positive yards here to get down. And I want to get some positive yards because I want to take some momentum into this overtime period. And overtime we don't see a lot of overtime in high school football. So as we go here now another thing too is, have they developed some kind of play in their back pocket that they're going to pull out here? The hook and lateral.
Well, if that's the case, you got Papa, who split wide right with McClare in front of him. McClare's got the good hands as they're going to pitch this one out, trying to get this one in space with Lewis, looking for some blockers as he starts to weave, gets to the 30 before he's brought down at the 35, and a timeout taken by the Lobos. Comfort Fit Denture first down, so they got time for one more, and the left side of the field is going to be sprung wide open. This will be set up on the near hash at the 37-yard line, so give Lewis another 17 yards as he's now become the Lobos' leading rusher. But does he have one more in him?
This is kind of what we wanted for a semifinal game, though. You look at that ALA Havasu score, and you kind of think, yeah, they kind of put it to him pretty good. And you look at our game here, and it's kind of what football's meant to be, a little bit chilly, strong run game, strong defense, late in the season. I mean, we're December 2nd in the White Mountains here.
Crowd did fill up here on the main stands in which we are seated. The students expected to sit behind the end zone, and there's a few of them. Everybody's wearing a whoopee.
It's the style.
Yes, especially this time of year. Hey, happy holidays, by the way. As McCray, who just picked off that most recent pass, is going to come out wide to the near side. 3 receivers going out to the left. It's an empty backfield as Butler with a little bit of pressure now as he fumbles it, picks it back up. Now he's going to run. Steps to the left, staggers over the 45, and has a Comfort Fit Denture first down. But it don't matter because the zeros on the clock say get ready for some free football,
and Easton Butler semi-limping off. His teammates had to help him up there. He gets a little pat on the helmet, and we're going into overtime. And I think, Derek, as this game has gone on, this is about the best scenario we could have hoped for the Lobos moving forward.
Well, before Sam Brown was able to knock in that extra point, or that field goal, I beg your pardon, we were privately expressing very little hope. But again, execution. Getting Brown to knock in that field goal and then the blocking. That was going to set up the big run there for Lewis, who only really had to make one man miss before he just turned on the Jets.
Well, both coaches come out, and we're going to have an overtime period.
How does this work at the high school level?
Gosh, Derek, I believe we're going to go to the 25, and you keep getting first hours at the 20 in high. See, I don't even know overtime. I did an overtime game last year between Safford and Blue Ridge, and I don't know if we go to the 10, if we go to the 25. I haven't brushed up on my overtime rules as much. Well, Derek, we talked about the World Cup earlier, and it is a tie, although it is 10-10. I'd love to see a 10-10 World Cup game, by the way.
What would be fun is having overtime decided with penalty-style throws into the end zone. Where's that?
I think you brought up a point where
10.
Could the coaches just go at it?
Wrestling match?
So we're going to bring out the number 74 for the Dorados.
That's Morgan Narcarati.
And we're going to have the captains for the Lobos. You have Munoz, and I do not have number 50 on my roster. I apologize. Braden Lewis, as well as not McCray, Christensen. Lance Christensen's going to come out. And
now, I believe I just heard they started at the 10. Does that sound right?
It does sound right. And I believe that's so you get first and you go until you. I don't think in high school you have the have to go for 2 rule. Lobos have won the toss, and they are going to defer, which means CDO gets the ball first.
Now, the benefit of that is what?
Lobos can decide if CDO does score and then the Lobos score, they have the option to go for 2 and win the game, but you have to score. And the other thing I noticed CDO did is they chose to play on the south end of Lobos Stadium, away from what few students, because we could see the whole student section actually migrating over to that side. So smart move for CDO. But this sets a lot of it sets some. It's been a while since I've seen an overtime high school game. Like I said, I was involved in one last year as an official, and we went from the 10, and I just kind of forgot my overtime procedure. So I'm waiting for my phone to blow up with all my official friends telling me how wrong I am.
Now, the difference in energy between these two sidelines is stark.
Well, Derek, is it energy as well as is it fatigue?
Yes.
You came up last night, you slept in an unfamiliar hotel room. You got up, you probably went through a walkout somewhere on the White Mountains here in a little bit of the cold, weren't used to it, ate lunch.
Let me tell you, sorry to interrupt, but
You're fine.
once I was working out where the worst people in the world are, and I just went, after I got to Salt Lake City, rode a bike, a stationary bike, did it for 45 minutes, and then the next day tried to do the same thing, and I couldn't get my heart rate down. The day after you do something in elevation is so much worse than the first try. So that is why I was a little bit curious about why come up early to try to acclimate. You can't acclimate to it.
You can't acclimate to it, and like you said, because you're just in unfamiliar territory.
Here comes CDO with the ball spotted at the 10. I've been saying this since they took it over with that drive that started on the 5 and Jordan Thomas getting direct snaps.
That's what I would do here.
Give him 4 shots.
I would give him 4 shots and let him go. And I don't think that's what they're going to do.
But again, we don't know what's going on that sideline. He might be tired. He could be plumb tuckered. He's run for 98 yards.
I believe McClellan's in there.
Yes, he is. Working from the pistol. Thomas is behind. He gets the call, tries to bounce it out to the left. He's met in the backfield, tries to bounce it out further, and eventually stopped for a loss.
Wow, that was Christensen, Lewis, as well as Rapier in on that stop.
Now,
wow.
The other consideration is how quickly can Snowflake push Zillman out of his range. As right now, this is spotted at the 13, so this would be flirting with a 30-yard field goal.
Derek, I saw him kicking it after halftime, and I believe this range is not much for him. And the field goal and the extra point we've seen was pretty well accurate. So I don't think that's in my opinion, that's not an issue.
Thomas, again back in the pistol. Turn, fake the give, throw this one over the top where it's overthrown and incomplete. There are no flags. There was a little bit of contact in the back of that end zone.
Derek, I feel like the contact on that was initiated by the offense, by Canyon Del Oro. I did not feel that was, is that Lewis out there or Rapier? I'm not sure. But I don't feel like, and again, I'm not down there on the field. I'm not making, but that contact was a little bit initiated by the offense, and any defensive contact there might have been, I feel like was incidental. So great no call by the officials. These officials have done a great job. The whole crew tonight has done a very good job.
That was Rapier who was back defending. 3rd and goal from the 13. Got to figure they're probably going to take, well, I'm not going to speculate. Thomas in the pistol.
It's going to depend on what they get here, Derek.
Send 2 receivers out wide right. That includes Beck. King is in the slot. From the shotgun, they're moving in this direction. Looking to the end zone where it's thrown again out of bounds and incomplete. 4th down and goal from the 13.
Derek, I don't even think if he caught that, he would have been but about the 2-yard line. So that was a great job by the Lobo defense from bringing that one in. And wow.
All right, Zillman.
And if you're the Lobo offense, you got to be sitting there wanting to feed off this momentum your defense has given you. And looks like they are going to kick it to give themselves a safety net. And Lobo's going to be coming with everything they can to block this.
Got to make sure they don't make contact with him.
Or they got to make sure that it's going to be a field goal and not a fake.
30-yard attempt with it spotted at the 20. Beck to hold. Has the snap down. The kick is away.
It is going to be through.
It's good.
It is good. So that is 13-10, and that is going to put the Lobos in a situation where they just want to score and in this, Derek. They get it from the 10-yard line. They got to do what they did that first quarter, even though they didn't put points on the board, to get those positive yards and get the ball down.
Question becomes that front 7 that in the first half was looking so feisty and so quick for the Dorados. Do they have how much in the tank? The Snowflake Lobos have been using all sorts of running backs, but the hero thus far here in the second half, in fact, the 4th quarter, has been Braden Lewis. He's got to be feeling pretty fresh.
Derek, we got four plays to see who gets a chance for a trip to Sun Devil Stadium to face ALA Gilbert. And, the Dorados did get the points, so the Lobos are behind it a little bit, and they might not be, and they're on schedule right now, as you would say.
Got Papa wide right, Baum wide left, McCray and Lewis in the backfield. Lewis gets the call, steps into the middle where he's still on his feet inside the 5, getting pushed at the 3. He's at the 2.
They mark him down. They mark him at the 1-yard-line. It is going to be 2nd and goal. The Lobos season is coming down to a 2nd and goal on the 1. What a play by the Lobos.
They're inside the 1. And Dorados are trying to get a couple of men in on the line. Snowflake doesn't go under center.
This is for the 3rd consecutive trip to the state championship for the Lobos.
And
the Dorados are going to call a timeout.
Well, the Lobos can taste it. Now, so many things, again, can go wrong.
There's so much that can go
under
wrong.
Center.
No.
So they're going to have to get a good snap. There's going to have to be a good exchange. You got McCray, who I don't think is going to get this touch, but he's wearing those sleeves. The ball could get pretty easily stripped away from him.
I think he's used to wearing because he probably wears them every day in practice. But, Derek, if you're CDO, what are you telling your guys right here? What are you telling them as defense?
There's nothing you can say except you guys got to get strong and make a play.
And see, I mean, playing high school football like most of us did who do this, I mean, as a coach coming out to his offense here, I'm basically saying to my 5 guys up front, you're going to win this game.
Yep.
Everything else has to happen. And, you know, I'm saying to the center, your job is to get the ball to the quarterback. The rest of you 4, you take care of the rest. And, you know, you have everything going on. But this crowd on their feet, I don't think there's many people on their butt right now here at Lobos Stadium. A few people next to us, but they're rising now.
Second and goal from inside the 1.
Here we go.
Papa and Baum again going out wide left and right respectively. Butler, who came in and started quarterbacking in the third quarter, has now Lewis on his right. He gets the call. He's stopped shy of the goal line.
And they are going to mark him down. Third
down and goal from the inch line.
You know, Derek, I'm not, and again, I'm critiquing, I'm not criticizing. I'm not wondering if you should give it to Butler and have those 2 backs, one just plow in front of him and have the other one do the old Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart in South Bend about 15 years ago.
Going with the same formation. Hand it off, and this time Lewis is in the end zone. The Snowflake Lobos come from behind, trailing 10, and are going to their 3rd consecutive state championship game, the first in the 4A conference.
Let's give a shout out to Coach Hargrove, who's playing shooter from Hoosiers in his hospital bed, getting up and cheering, as he's got to be proud of his defense, even not being here tonight, as they only allowed the CDO team 13. As this crowd on their feet, electric, as the Lobos stamp their ticket, punch their ticket to a rematch with ALA Gilbert at Sun Devil Stadium.
16-13 final. The Lobos trailed 10-0 after the 80-yard strike between McClellan and Beck, and it looked like that was it. It looked like that was all they had in the tank.
But you got to the home field, and you got to factor the experience in for this Lobo team. They've been here before. Even if they were sophomores sitting on the bench 2 years ago, even if they were freshmen 4 years ago when they had that loss to Ben Franklin, you've seen them grow over these 4 years, and now these Lobos, and now it's them. We took the tradition in the last 2 state titles, and now we're going to build on this. And no matter what, they're bringing home some hardware. They have a very daunting task in ALA Gilbert. I get that. They get that. However, it's a game. You got to show up. You got to play. And no matter what, they are going to bring something home to represent their new spot in the 4A conference.
16-13, the Lobos come from behind and secure the win, punch their ticket. Seems so interesting to me as we get ready to go into a break to start our post-game conversation. But you got 50% of your semifinalists at the 3A conference a year ago that are now going to represent the 4A championship qualifiers.
You know, let's just savor that. We can dissect and break that down. Everybody's going to do it. But, you know, other teams got moved. Lobos got moved up. Other teams stayed. It's interesting to see, but the fact of the matter is what you just said. ALA Gilbert gets to face the Lobos, and that was a game here. It was late September, I believe.
Yep.
And we're going to see what happens. They had a very good second half, and these are not the same Lobos. They made some adjustments, and we're going to see, and we can talk about that as we go to the post-game show.
Also, just again to complete that thought, Yuma Catholic was ahead of Lake Havasu for most of that ball game. So this is nearly 75% of the semifinalists being 75% of last year's 3A semifinalists. Let me just go ahead and here and say those are 3 good programs.
Very good programs. Three, and you know what? ALA Gilbert is what it is. They don't have the tradition, but you know, Yuma Catholics had their. They were 2A just a few years ago, and now they're moving up in the 4A ranks. And I think this was the goal the Lobos set out. Is I didn't particularly agree with being moved up to 4A, but the kind of the attitude around the boys and the coaches and even the people in the community after a bit was, okay, bring it on. We'll see what we can do. And wow, they have proven to the 4A conference we're here, and White Mountain football has been well represented, and now for the first time ever, we have a 4A team going to the state championship from the White Mountains.
16-13. The Lobos outscore CDO 16-3 in the final period plus overtime and are now going to get ALA Gilbert North in the championship game. We'll tell you about it after this. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Hey everyone, it's Joe G from Horn Auto Center and the Deuce Clubs in Sholo. People are saying to me, hey Joe, what's going on with these used car prices? Well, we have to use live market value when we take people's vehicles in on trade. We're giving top dollar right here at Horn Auto Center, using live market value, what vehicles are selling for in the last 90 days. Horn Auto Center, the Chevy and GMC store that saves you more.
Since 2006, Beeler Orthodontics has been creating spectacular smiles in the White Mountains. Dr. Beeler and his team use innovative technology and cutting-edge orthodontics while still providing a hometown experience. From traditional braces and clear aligners to surgical orthodontics, Dr. Beeler works with smiles of all ages. So call them today to schedule a complimentary exam at 928-537-7775 or visit them at BeelerOrtho.com. Beeler Orthodontics. Live to smile, love your smile.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable, always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Winning takes focus, preparation, and support. Keep focus on your dream career while saving thousands in tuition costs at Northland Pioneer College. We're here to support your goals and see you succeed. Visit npc.edu to see our programs. An academic advisor will get you on the right path to achieve your educational goals. Northland Pioneer College, expanding minds, transforming lives.
Snowflake High School hosting a semifinal matchup against Canyon del Oro as CDO took a 10-0 lead into the fourth quarter. Sam Brown, who hooked a field goal at the end of the first half. They did not opt to kick one, looking at 4th and 8, which would have been about a 30-yard attempt. And that led to the 80-yard strike between McClelland and Beck. And at that point, with the Lobos having potentially left 6 points just outside the end zone, having been able to make it into the red zone on consecutive possessions, and having that seeming backbreaker of an 80-yard score come out there, you're kind of like, it was a good season. First trip through 4A, you gave it all your all. And a little bit of a surprise, as I had noticed Easton Butler having a conversation with starting quarterback Bryant. you could look at it as the quarterback who had taken his spot as they moved him over to wide receiver, but really it was just a matter of trying to get one of their better playmakers the ball in as much space as possible. Bryant had played quarterback quite well.
Bryant had
you might even go so
great.
far as to say that they don't make this ball game if they make that move. But Butler comes back out there. They're able to use his legs particularly to get into field goal range. Brown's able to convert. That just brings a little bit of a heartbeat back into it. The Lobos get a stop, and it sets up Braden Lewis's 69-yard run. And really, that is the play of the season thus far.
You know, Derek, it's interesting because I call it what if football, where you sit and go, what if they do this and what if they do that and what if this happened and what if that happened. The fact of the matter is exactly what you said. This happened, Lewis's run, and I'm not gonna criticize. I'm gonna critique. CDO on that last drive had ample opportunity to get up to the line and make some plays and get their guy within range. And I don't know what it was, but it seemed to me it was there's some disharmony in that all night as they were looking to the sidelines. And we had the play clock up here going, and we had it at 44 and 45 seconds quite a few times. And the fact of the matter is their management on that last drive and having to use all those timeouts did not allow them to put it in the end zone, setting up overtime.
But potential counter. We don't know, first of all, how many of those guys in the trenches are having to go both ways. The Lobos don't have anybody who's doing that, and they're playing in this elevation. We don't know how exhausted that sideline was. So maybe they were trying to go with tempo. They just couldn't do it.
You know, Derek, that's actually a really good point because this is not an easy place to come to and play. I mean, we've all seen playoff games at Sholo, Blue Ridge, and Snowflake, particularly here the last few years. We called the Phoenix Christian game a couple years ago when Phoenix Christian had moved up to 3A, and their running game had been their strong point all year, and they were effectively shut down. CDO did a lot better job tonight, and a very good football team. I think as the Lobos match up, I really wonder now what that hiccup against Micah Mountain was that they lost. But they came in here with 2 losses, the Lobos having 3. The strength of schedule put the Lobos in at 2, and as CDO comes in, they just kind of, like you said, they were 2 all year. This could have been very easily the Lobos going down to Tucson to play this game.
Which I think if they had to do that, again, as we speculate about how well they were feeling, might have been a much different outcome. But as we got it now, the Lobos winning 16-13 as we considered first the Horn Auto Center drive of the game. What do you got?
You know, we could say Braden Lewis's drive, but to the point, and I know it is on the losing end, I still think that drive where CDO came down and had the 87 and put the 3 points up, because without that, we don't have overtime. The Lobos kind of put one score and go.
I'm going to offer a different opinion.
Go. I love it.
Easton Butler, I don't think in any way, shape, or form lost his job at quarterback. I think they had to get their best playmakers in space, especially after that Apache Junction game. They're just trying to find a way to get the ball to their best playmakers. But it's so easy for a kid that age, or all of the kids that he's going to school with, trying to dunk on him, dude, you're not the quarterback no more, all that stuff. It could really ring in his head. Instead, he's able to take that, show it all back, take the field at the quarterback spot, go down and get that field goal. If they don't get that field goal, Braden Lewis's run doesn't matter.
No, and the drive that Butler just was kind of just run down with his own guys and pushed him back. So that's definitely the drive. You're right.
That's our drive of the game. But now we got to do a Beeler Orthodontics glass. Oh, excuse me, not that. We need to do the Deemer's glass shattering hit of the game. Which one did you like best?
The one we talked about was the one in overtime where the Lobos put the ball behind the line and just absolutely hurt the Dorados in overtime. So
Beeler's Orthodontics straight line play of the game. What do you like?
I think we go with Braden Lewis's run. I don't think
69 yards?
Absolutely.
Because you know which one I like? I like the 9 yards on first and goal from the 10, knowing that they're going to have to get some points. Don't want to settle for a three-pointer and set it up where you got 2 shots from inside the 1.
I like it, but I like Lewis's because it put us into this situation. So you know what? Duel.
Okay. And the big thing there, and the greatest part about it all, is it was Lewis who was responsible for all 4 of those carries, because he wound up scoring on third and goal from inside the 1. So Braden Lewis, if we had a player of the game, dude, it'd be going to
Butler or Lewis.
Again, joint. It's
joint.
a joint effort. as the Lobos, advancing to their third straight championship game, had not yet had to do this against ALA Gilbert North, incidentally. But they've already come up on the wrong end of one against the Eagles, and now they get a second crack.
I think they're excited to play at Sun Devil Stadium, too. I think and we're going to have that game from what we understand.
Yes, you can hear it right here on italk1067.com. As our last call from Snowflake High, 16-13, the Lobos lead, and they will play Friday at 4 against ALA Gilbert North for the 4A Conference Championship. Thank you so much for spending some of your weekend with us. Thank you, Hewish. Thank you, Nate and Kaylee and Corbin Dodge on the camera. I'm Derek Palmer, and we'll be back with you next week. Until then, be safe.
This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 FM and iTalk1067.com. Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Beeler Orthodontics, Octopus Car Wash, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Comfort Fit Dentures, Summit Regional Medical Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport, and Horn Auto Center. And now, Sholo Ford presents high school football on iTalk 106.7 FM and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.